Says we're live, people. Says we're live, but are you really alive? That was so unclever. Holy shit. Everyone's just like, no, Tolstoy, stop. Just stop. Yeah, you're right. I should stop. God damn, the Shimog makes my fucking face look fatter. Even fatter than 2 months of alcoholism and not working out enough. Although, you know, they say you burn 100 calories in walking a mile. If I've been walking like at least 8 miles every day, that's 800 calories a day. Where is it going? What am I doing with it? I don't understand. Lies and slander. I didn't even really want to do this video, by the way. I didn't. And obviously I'm in the tactical get-up here with the... But you have to have the Shimog. Because, you know, now we're talking about civil unrest and hipsters, whenever they go to fight the man, they wear a Shimog, despite the fact that it really has... It's not going to stop the tear gas. And I keep on wondering why none of y'all have fucking gas masks. And Kenny is in. Check that shit out. Fuck. So, I didn't even really want to do this video. I'm not so... What's the word? I'm not so fucking self-important that I actually think that anyone gives a shit what I think, and I think at this point it's super dangerous to air any opinion. But I don't know about that, maybe not. So for the last 4 fucking days, I've been waking up every single morning and just scrolling through my newsfeed and seeing just nothing but, like, quasi-apocalyptic images of buildings burning down, riots forming everywhere, protests forming everywhere, and, I really couldn't say anything about it, but I felt like I couldn't say anything, because you go on social media and you post something, you know, cutesy, and, I mean, just innocuous, you know, and that's also dicked up, you know what I mean? I feel like you're just basically ignoring the elephant in the room. I mean, if you're an American right now, fuck, and apparently everyone's at work, Well, I need to get a fucking haircut. Usually they take care of my mutton chops, as you say, at the haircuttery. And last time I went in there, they're like, "Sir, you need a mask." And also, so by the way, I like how it says concurrent viewers too. There's at least 4 commenters in here. So, goddamn YouTube, you're not even subtle. You're like the police. So I don't know. You know, I don't want to be that guy, but I think the best meme that I've found about it so far has been, it's a Venn diagram with 4 different crossing... Man, that YouTuber's got a nice-looking girlfriend. Good for you. Or he's not a YouTuber, he's one of my Facebook people. Sorry, I have Facebook pulled up. Ooh, is that another... Huh? Ah! Sorry. Oh my god, that's Cutie from work. And she's texting me, and she's asking about if the gym is going to open up. Bitch, I asked if you wanted to go running. If you don't want to go fucking running, what are you asking me about the gym for? God. You want to suck my dick or not? I just want to get my dick sucked. We're still stuck at 2, and then there's like 6 people in the stream. And then I think I'm getting more emails from potential employers. I've got like 3 fucking interviews lined up, which is good goddamn news. But that being said, in the midst of everything, so like I said, on social media, there's a fucking Venn diagram. Ooh, girl, you piss me off. Why are you asking me about the gym if you don't want to wear tight clothing and watch me bench? It doesn't even fucking matter. I don't even know what I'm going to bench now. I'm probably going to have to go, like, cut it all the way back to, like, 90 pounds to start off with, just to ensure I don't fucking injure myself. Anyway, and the Venn diagram basically has, like, the 4 different positions of George Floyd was murdered, and then the next one is, you know, the police are definitely corrupt. The third one is, like, rioting and looting is wrong, and the 4th one is, but extreme protests are necessary. And the Venn diagram crosses over, and it's you can be at this center. You are all these positions. And so I haven't said fucking anything. I don't want to be, and the thing is, it's like 2 things. 1, I don't want to be caught in the court of wrong public opinion. I don't want wrong think. And 2, I don't think that people think that my opinion is fucking important, but I'm fucking frustrated. I'm seeing this shit go down, and I don't know, I feel like I need an aggregate of opinions. I see that most people on Facebook, though, you know, are basically saying, you know, straight out of Compton, as it were. I don't really want to say, but you know what I mean. And I fear leaning one way or the other too much, because that's just who I am, I guess, as a radical centrist. But that being fucking said, like, now I wake up this morning and there's just nothing but fucking video evidence of straight police brutality. Just straight up, like, I mean, I think I'm starting to lose it when I'm watching actual journalists, despite the fact that I'm sure they're just a bunch of fucking, left-wing cucks. But that's their fucking job. Like, we do have a freedom of the press. As much as I despise what you say, I would fight to the death for your right to say it. And they're just in the streets reporting, and the cops are just opening fire on them with rubber bullets. I'm like, remember in Vietnam, the protests started getting really fucking crazy when people from, like, ABC or news or whatever were getting their heads cracked with billy clubs? Like, that was around the point where Americans were starting to lose their fucking shit. And then the fucking footage of, there's just so many goddamn videos to go. There's so many fucking incidents. And they're on the other side too. I mean, I'm not down with I'm down with the protesters, the looters, and the rioters. Let's just put a big X on that. That's exponent. That's for unknown. And I've seen footage of them. Somebody was asking me how I felt about the Target, you know what I mean? And I'm like, fuck the corporations. Target would fuck me over in a heartbeat, so why should I care about them? Fuck it. I need a new dresser. Maybe I should have been there, man. Free fucking dresser. I don't give a shit, but at the same time, I know that these people, these rioters, I've seen them beat some innocent people in very brutal fucking ways. I mean, the dude with the sword, yeah, he did come after them, and yeah, that dude's a huge fucking cuck, and he kind of gets what he deserves. But the old couple that were trying to protect their fucking business, and I think they hit an old man and a woman with a 2x4? But on the other hand, I'm seeing a lot more footage of the brutality coming from the cops. You know what I mean? Like, fucking pepper spraying a little girl in Seattle. There's too many to name. And the one that really boiled my shit was when they're trying to instill martial law in Minneapolis and riot police are running around with, not simunition, but I saw a muzzle flash. That shit's not, CO2 pressurized. That shit's gunpowder. And they fired some kind of paint. I don't know how the paintball survives the firearm aspect, but they paintballed a family on their front porch because they wouldn't get inside. And I see these fucking bootlickers, and they're like, oh, well, when a cop tells you to do something, yeah, okay, when a cop says get on the train car, get on the train car. What's so hard to understand about that? Oh, wait, 12 million dead. Okay, weird. It's almost like we're this nation that was rooted in the ideology that if shit goes sideways, we should... But I don't want to say that, and I'm obviously not supporting that. Like, clearly, for the sake of this video, this is all parody. Clearly, I'm portraying, a left-wing cuck and whatnot. I obviously believe that, it's the thin blue line protecting us from ourselves, I guess. They're protecting us from freedom. Too much freedom, that can be bad. You know what I mean? Sorry if I'm super angsty. I've been building this up over 4 fucking days, and I've had 2 cups of well, this is the second cup of coffee. I'm having to get used to fucking coffee, because energy drinks cost too fucking much. Let's read some fucking comments. Maybe shut the fuck up. Goddamn, by the way, this like little, cutesy battle outfit here, this is not only hot, but goddamn, I wore a tank top the other day when I went running, and why do white people burn so easily? So it's like rubbing right up against that area. It's so fucking good. Sukabliat says, it's happening. The harvest has begun. Yeah. And that's another thing is all the boog memes, all the boogist groups are basically saying that we should, be in the kitchen, helping cook, because there can never be too many cooks. And, I don't know about that, man. I'm pretty insulated from all of this, by the way. I'm in the middle of rural North Carolina. I actually saw one of the dudes that I used to work with, actually, at the park when I was running, and he had some friends, and he's like the only white guy in his group of all black friends, and his one black friend had a shirt that says, Black Guns Matter. You know what I mean? We fucking started talking about everything, and the guy was really based, and I'm just like, yeah, North Carolina is just completely detached from the rest of the Union in this sense. Like, libertarian swing state in the weirdest, most awkward, let's just not talk about it kind of way. Now, we did have our share of riots, but it was like Fayetteville, Raleigh, Greensboro, and I'm nowhere near that shit. So really, I don't kind of have to care, but at the same time, I'm an American, and it's just hard to watch this happen in my fucking country. I'm also just really worried about martial law, because once that shit gets instated, it's never going back. Because I've read history books. Never gets... Sorry, reading comments. This motherfucker's name is Sir Blumpkin. A little bit fucked up. He says, damn, oh yeah, I already read that. Damn your mutton chops, dude. Yeah, well, you know, it's... Oh, and not to mention, the one last thing that I'm sure everyone has noticed that has really been frustrating me is, man, before this, if you aired the idea that the COVID wasn't, the absolute Black Plague, end of all, humanity, world-ending event, extinction-level event, man, you were just an evil, stupid, right-wing hillbilly. Hey, man, I noticed that a lot of those protesters aren't wearing masks and they're not doing social distancing, and neither are the police, and no one's talking about COVID anymore. Wow, I mean, where's the spike, man? Shouldn't there be It's been 4 days. Now, they're like, well, it takes 2 weeks. No. It can be up to 2 weeks, but in accordance with both the World Health Organization and the CDC, the average time of incubation is 5 days. So it's been 5 days since the rioting started. Where's the spike? Oh, no. Anyway, fucking Atomic Puppet says, he says in Bane's voice, it's not the boog you wished for. Are you pleased? Oh, dude, I really want to rewatch that film. I feel like right now the feeling of that film would be extra good. But I would have to get drunk, and I'd need to stop that because you know why. Haven the Mirror's in. She says, hello, my dude. Haven, what's up? How's the Nino? You guys... Oh, that's right. You're not in where you were before. I forgot. I don't know if you're still down in... if you're still at home or not, or if you went back to the north. Either way, it's not like any place is safe. I Need Gain says, I'm here too. Churchill Bhatia says, show 17 views for me. Well, that's weird. I'm still on 2. I'm glad that they disabled my ability to know how many people I have. I'm sorry that I'm a thought terrorist. I ask only that my brains be blown out now that I've been re-educated and they are fit to be blown out. Bongmancer says, we're here ready for the unrest. Are we? Because I'm not ready. I haven't been to the gym in 2 fucking months. How ready am I supposed to be? Sweet, delicious coffee. PKG96 says, you can be in their one diagram. Yeah, I agree. Yep. And it's been fucked up, and I don't know how to feel, and I'm just tired of it. I wish it would stop and go away. Oh, they arrested the dude. Are they going to charge him? Would that make... Oh, and they're also like, well, the other cops who stood by and did nothing. And I'm like, yeah. Well, fucking fine, man. Can we sacrifice them on the altar or some shit like that? If we kill Aslan, does it bring back the shit, or what are we doing? Bongmancer says, good luck on all your interviews, man. Yeah, word. Thank God. And it's from 2 of the interviews are from 2 different positions at a very prestigious area that I really want to go to that would really help turn my fucking life around. So I'm just praying every day. VecTechSec says, got laid off from my shitty magazine writer job, currently making a stupid amount of money from unemployment, fishing and lifting. Well, how are you? Oh, what, you got a private gym? Were you going to invite me? Richard the Righteous says, George Floyd was definitely a psyop. That's another fucking angle. So there's been a lot of evidence that has come forward that, I've seen literal footage of the police breaking their own cars. Pallets of bricks just keep on appearing places where the rioters are. There was obviously that one cop very early on who was caught burning down an AutoZone. I mean, it's pretty obvious that there could be some kind of government agitation in order to force the narrative that there needs to be martial law, or to force a potential pre-boog to happen, and then that creates the means by which they need to force the public narrative to accept martial law. Like, there's just so many levels of fucked up in this cake. Bongmancer says, tear gassing 15-year-olds. I've seen so many goddamn videos. I could scroll through my Facebook feed right now and find like 18 good uns. And the terrible thing is, I have a lot of police and military friends, and like, we just usually don't talk about this. We're still good friends. They're like my family. We just don't fucking talk about this. But like, how y'all gonna defend it now? Like, I'm just interested to see it, because there's just a level of shambolic bootlicking responses that always have to happen. There always has to be like, well, you see, the little baby was sitting in the wheelchair, and that's why I had to shoot it in the face. There's always this, well, you don't understand because you're not a cop. Like, and I'm just not sure, like, how you gonna explain this shit away? I wish that I could work in a field where I, like, literally had, like, carte blanche to do whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you're a nurse and you get somebody dropped, they generally dismiss you. You know what I mean? They're like, well, you did bad. They don't just go like, oh, well, we'll just move you to a different area of the hospital where you can drop more people. Like, hospitals, it actually matters that you do a good job. PKG96 says, it's almost like the 60s, Trump's good old days, shaking my head. Yeah. Churchill Bhatia says, I mean, black people work at Target and now they'll be unemployed. So, yeah, well, maybe they can get unemployment that way. Like, I don't know. Again, it's, first of all, that's a flaw of thinking. As it turns out, neither white people nor black people are a symbiote. They are not a fucking eusocial species. So there are plenty of black people. I just dropped my little... This is a part that goes to the mic. It came in the mic box. I have no idea what it does, but it's shiny and I love to play with it. There's no eusocial psychic link between them, so it's actually possible for black people to disagree with the burning down of Target. But the thing is, it wasn't in my area, and I don't work for Target. Yeah. And it's not like if there were white people that work for Target, because there are white people who work for Target, that I would be upset because, oh, now they've hurt the hive. You know, they've hurt the collective of white people. Like, no, I don't give a shit. Like, you work at Target, man. I don't even fucking work. So, at this fucking point, I don't care what happens. Like, part of me is getting sick pleasure from watching shit burn. I also like that CNN got their shit stormed. That shit gave me wood. And then they turned around and they were like, it was the white supremacists. And I'm like, there's a shit ton of black white supremacists in that crowd. God damn, black people, you gotta stop being white supremacists, man. That sucks, dude. Don't be self-hating. And then the next day, there was a black CNN reporter who got fucking arrested by the police, and it's just watching all of my enemies hurt each other. So good. But, like, now we've gone too far. We should probably stop. This is the point where we should stop. It's like alcoholism. Like, you always say, oh, it's okay to drink tonight, and you wake up the next morning kind of drunk, and you're like, well, I should probably just continue to be drunk. And then you're like, well, I won't be drunk in a few more days, but by that point, it's really fucked up trying to not be drunk anymore. So, like, we really gotta stop. Here and now, buddy. Bong Lancer says, they already unemployed because of COVID. Yeah, that's another thought that I had, was like, yeah, well, what do you expect? You literally, everyone became unemployed, they're destitute, you locked them in their houses for 2 months, and now they're getting cabin fever, and they're lashing out and fucking showing you how fucking pissed they are. So, you know, shit happens. Alexis says, howdy, T. Have they burned down your city yet? I don't live in a city, so no, they didn't. I don't know how Raleigh's doing, and I don't fucking care, 'cause I don't work there. Clive Winston says, hell to the yes. Welcome, Clive. I hope you're ready, man. I hope you're ready to leave, man. I'm going to meet you in, we're going to meet you in, where we meet you, man. I Need Gains says, someone set a brush fire near me, and I'm in rural areas, so that was surprised to see someone do that near me. Interesting. I really hope it doesn't spill out into... Once it spills out into the suburbs and the rural areas, I will be fucked. Well, we'll see how this plays out. Fuck me. I really want to go buy a 22LR takedown. No, you do not have the money to spend on that shit. I know. I Need Gain says, Kane the Warlock's in. He says, apparently they're also shooting at ambulances trying to help people. No. Please don't say that. Christ. Oh my God. How are you all defending it? I just need to know. Like, you see the footage of this and you're like, well, you see, the ambulances are first responders, and so I have to shoot at them. Like, it makes me think that they're attempting to push the boog. This is it. This is their last, and I've been saying this for fucking years. They've been trying every narrative they possibly could to get us to accept some scenario where there would end up being martial law and abject fucking control. And it's been getting more and more obvious. They're running out of their adrenochrome. All the pedophile gangs got busted up, so they haven't been able to get their sweet adrenochrome, so that they're going through withdrawal, and they're just making terrible, horrible decisions, and all of their processes are not becoming... The frog is getting boiled much more faster. It's not subtle at all anymore. I mean, just think about it. First it was a virus, and we have to get computer chips to make sure that we know about, whether or not you've been vaccinated. And then it was murder hornets, and nobody was afraid of that. And now it's race war. And what's it going to be next? I'm waiting for the aliens. When it's finally the aliens, mark my words, save this video, download it now. Oh, you can't download. Yeah, you can get a Ripper program and download this shit and be like, Tolstoy called it. And they did say the Nebulonians were coming after fucking... the race war failed. Fuck me. Fuck me balls swinging, man. PKG96 says, it just kind of disappeared. I'm sorry, I forget what we're talking about. I have been noticing that Google is memory holing everything. I have to start saving all of my sources because I get into these conversations with my friends, and then they say cite your sources, and then I'm like, it's easy. I'll look it up. And then you go to look it up, and you can't find it. Churchill Batia says, so true, man. Clearly mass protests are the cure to COVID. That makes sense, actually. You know, it's herd fucking immunity, right? Sarah says, been needing this stream. So far, everything is quiet in Arizona. I have to be honest, I woke up yesterday somewhat optimistic. I feel like the change might be optimistic, might have a few years of BS, though. Might be positive. If nothing... I don't know. If nothing else, this will hopefully shed light on a very true issue of a police state and police brutality. But I feel like it doesn't ever change. And that's like one of the narratives that these rioters are using. And I don't like the fact that... But they got a point, which is that, yeah, well, we tried doing this peacefully. And that shit doesn't work. You know, it's like... What, you know, there was an old comedian who was like, well, what do you do? How are you a pacifist in World War II? Like, what do? Everyone just holds hands who was in the Allied powers, and they swing back and forth and go, Red Rover, we call Hitler over. Like, it doesn't fucking work that way. You know what I mean? Like, asking nicely generally does not fucking work. Brian X64 says, how do you miss a point-blank shot? Is that literally a reference to that real weird old cringy video where I, you know, set up a... I think it was a skit where Tolstoy got shot in the head by people attempting to control him, which ironically is now far more, not prevalent, what's the word I'm looking for? It's far more apt. I don't know. It's Pedro Amato says, why would the government want to incentivize riots against the police in order to create the narrative that they need more of a police state so that they can control us? I need you to stay with me, man. I need you to keep up on the boog news that you can't refuse. Clive Winston, everything's going to bump. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Says, I love how people still think false flag operations aren't a thing. Dude, exactly. Like, so I guess World War II didn't happen? Because most historians generally believe that the Japanese used a train blowing up false flag as a pretense to invade China and commit war crimes. So I guess that just didn't happen. Like, what are we all, like, Japanese nihilists now? Because they are. In their history books, they're like, the glorious Empire of the Sun did nothing wrong and was undeserving of the Americans blowing up their shit. And I'm just like, so Unit 731 is silence! Except for it would be sirens. That's not fucking racist. They don't have L's in their language. Fuck off. Also, Japanese is not a race. It's a nationality. So, like, everybody misses that. Like, the Chinese don't do the same thing with their L's. They actually tend to R their L's because their language is different. They have L's, but they use R more prevalently. I've been reading a lot of poli-sci shit. Well, mostly Guns, Germs, and Steel. Fucking amazing. An entire chapter dedicated to, like, language. And there's, like, a really interesting fucking anecdote about how there was a Cherokee dude who independently evolved written language. Pretty much. And I would go through that and nerd out about it, but that's not what this stream is about. I want to stay fucking focused for reading comments. For once, the coffee keeps me focused. Well, yeah, coffee tends to focus you a lot more than alcohol. Hey, shut up, voice of reason. Sarah says, for once I'm glad I have Twitter. Twatter. I'm seeing the shit that is actually happening, and I have to say, I might have been wrong about a thing or two. That's another thing, yeah, I'm thinking, like, I feel like the system doesn't understand that we can see shit in real time now. So they see a protester with a phone held up, and they're like, well, we'll just launch tear gas and then take the phone. And it's like, no, it's live. So we saw you do that. And I just feel like they're just kind of a dumb barnyard animal that is known for its high-protein, high-fat content. Some religions don't eat it because they think it's filthy. Fuck it, maybe they're right. Maybe I should convert. Sir Blumpkin says, as a European, I'm perplexed at how harsh racism is in the U.S., considering everyone derived from immigrants except natives. Racism here in Norway is a lot more subtle and low-key. How can I put this? How many different... Okay, but that's you literally just answered your own question, which is like, how many different races are people in Norway dealing with? Like, besides the most recent, influx of, immigrants or whatever that was brought over in this, like, last European immigration, exodus, whatever you want to call it, but aren't they kind of confined to, like, their own neighborhoods and shit? Like, we intermingle and have millions of people from different backgrounds, and, like, yeah, well, that causes strife. I'm sorry, that's the real fucking world. Like, I don't know how to tell people. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying we shouldn't work on that. But, I mean, it's like going to Southern America, like Panama, and going, I'm surprised that people have malaria here. Like, yeah, because there's mosquitoes fucking everywhere. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Like, it's one of the dark sides of being America. On the plus side, we have all the cool movies and culture that everyone wants to emulate. On the downside, every so often, race riots, man. It just happens. And again, like, it's not even like most people. It's like just a few fucking people. The problem is that we have a news media that likes to shake that shit because they're trying to divide us because martial law. In Norway, you're already controlled. Your fucking government has no... Wait. Oh, I was like, which one is that cool Western European state? And then I was like, oh, Finland. Yeah, you wish you were Finland. But either way, you guys are already under fucking control. Like, you know what I mean? Like, your government has no need to... Well, except for... And, like, by the way, you want to know a badass fucking Western European country that booged the fuck out? France. How is France doing, by the way? Can anyone inform me if France is still booging? Because their boog was a wonderful boog. And I loved them for it. Let no one say that they are cowards. The Kurgata123 says, you still play the mandolin? Have you picked it up in the quarantine? No, I never really played it. I just sort of butchered it. I was bad at it. I am bad at music. It's just one of those things that, those XP trees that my class cannot absorb. I wish that I wasn't, like, shit, but this is life. Kane the Warlock says, so some of my friends still in school, I just graduated, are being forced to install basically malware on their computer without consent of the admin level so they can't disable it without admin. I'm guessing it's a tracking. It's some sort of tracking and or spyware, am I right? Churchill Batia says, there's also the fact that George Floyd and Derek Chauvin worked together for 17 years at a nightclub. I don't really know who Derek Chauvin is. I can't keep track of all these different names. The other one that I feel like we're really losing fucking sight of, that really boils my piss, although I think the officers may have gotten charged. What was that one where the lady was an EMT, was in Georgia? I think this is the same scenario, and they did a no-knock raid, and her boyfriend with a legally owned handgun returned fire because they were plainclothes officers, and how the fuck am I supposed to know? And by the way, like I said, I have a lot of friends who are police and military. I used to run, like, at least 8 miles, like, every few days with a good friend of mine who helped me get sober, kind of, and, helped me find a new, lease on life. But he was a cop, and we were having a discussion once about no-knock raids, and that was the one time I thought, we're gonna fight. It was the weirdest, like, he just kept getting angrier and angrier, and his mentality was, well, I was like, so they're dressed in all black? He's like, because they're dressed like police, so you would know that they're police. I'm like, so in a quarter of a second, I gotta know if the person dressed in all black is a cat burglar or a cop? And also, what's to stop me from going on Amazon, getting a police vest, and then kicking in someone's door and saying police, and then shooting them and taking their shit? And he just got angrier and angrier, and he was a cool dude. He was relatively calm. And all of a sudden, we're running along. He starts slowing up and starts turning to me and kind of, squaring up. And just in the back of my head, I was like, I'm going to have to fight him. Years later, I actually did fight him in my apartment. We were fighting over whether or not Doom had fall damage, and it escalated to a fist. We were drunk. Yeah. I Need Gain says, in order to institute martial law and distract from the fact that the corona was essentially nothing more than a common cold. Yeah, exactly. Pedro responds, he says, the piles of corpses in Italy and Spain and New York mean nothing to you? I've seen pictures, but, I mean, is it real? Like, I don't know, bro. Also, again, the piles of corpses in New York and Italy Italy especially pertain to their insanely elderly population who all smoked and drank and were unhealthy. New York is probably similar. They don't strike me as a very healthy population. And again, they were all in very close quarters. They are unique. If you want to shut down New York City, fine. They should not have shut down the entire country. I do not live in an area where I've been affected. Nobody wears masks around here. Nobody actually gets a big fucking deal. I haven't seen a spike in anything. I haven't seen piles of bodies, and we're a large enough population that I've been running into people and shaking hands, and no one's been taking precaution, and we haven't been spaced apart, and it's like nothing's happening. It's really weird. Pedro Amanda says, in my country, we just recently came within hospitals' capacities again. So I'm guessing you're Spanish, so is it Spain or Mexico? And either way, Spain, like I said, don't you all smoke a shit ton over there? Like, I've been told that, like, in Europe, you all just continue to smoke. See, in America, we don't fucking do that. Like, smoking is actually rare here now. We actually had public awareness campaigns. Surprising, the government didn't ban it. Where was Big Daddy Gubby to shoot people in the face if they smoked? Oh, we didn't need that? We just needed to tell people it was unhealthy and encourage them to be healthy? Oh. It's almost like people can make their own decisions. Uh-oh. Haven Namira says, having a hard time with this, Tolst. You know how I feel about this sort of thing. You should call me sometime this week if you have time. I will. I fucking will. Because I saw your one post, and I kind of agreed, but I kind of disagreed, and I'm with you there. I don't know how to feel. I just kind of wish it would all go away. I guess that's not how life works, huh? Pedro says, because people stayed home and avoided infection. Where was that? Okay. Richard Righteous says, at Churchill Batia. Exactly. And Chauvin's neighbors didn't know he was a cop. They thought he was in real estate. Secret agent much? Oh, is he the dude that murked Floyd? That doesn't sound good. King the Warlock says, I think a doctor in Italy actually said COVID is losing its potency. Well, what I'm going on is a report that was quickly suppressed that was released by L.A. County epidemiologists, and it was re-upped by and studied over by the University of Southern California that basically was like, yeah, you're looking at the death rate and you're only looking at people that you have confirmed infected. But if it's so highly contagious, it would actually have affected 10 times as many people, thus bringing the kill rate down from 20% to 0.05. Half of a half. But I'm not allowed to actually say this because, that would make me an infidel. In the opinion of Karens. I realize, our entire fucking country is either under control by police, corporations, or fucking Karens. And they're like this whole, unholy fucking trifecta. I've realized the problem is Karens. They're just everywhere demanding that we all change. You know what I realized? So the other day, my kitchen looks like a shithole. I'm always meal prepping, I've got a bunch of bottles of medications, not illegal health, I take multivites and milk thistle for my liver and shit like that, I look like an old guy. I don't know if that shit works, but I know that I don't always have the most varied diet. I mean, if you consider that I make whole days disappear with liquor and then I don't eat anything, so, or sometimes I'll just skip meals when I'm out exercising, which is also not a good idea. Anyway, I hear some jingling keys. Now, anyone who knows me has known that I've struggled with this shithole slumbox apartment for 5 fucking years that I've been here. And these people will get maintenance dudes to just kind of bump in and go, what's going on in here? And they'll just come in. They've come in when I've been in my PJs. And I'm like, well, you're lucky I got the PJs, because I could just have my big old swinging dick. And they just kind of don't give a shit. They'll just kind of come in anyway. So I live in constant paranoia of when they're going to invade my privacy. And I try to clean up on the regs, but the other day I heard some keys jingle. Turns out it was my neighbor, but I was like, oh, fucking just run and quickly clean the kitchen up. And I wipe down the counters. Yeah, they got coffee stains. You know why? Because my brother's coffee maker's a piece of shit. Got a little ring. We got some bleach-based cleaner. Cleans the fucking shitty-ass counters that are like $10 fucking a plywood, I assure you. Painted white. And I started putting away all the shit that I know I'm going to get out later. And I realized, I was like, so mostly cleaning has nothing to do with the actual cleanliness of the situation. Like scrubbing your toilet, which my toilet's clean and my shower is clean. You know what I mean? Like my sink's got beard hairs in it from shaving real quick. I'll just wash them. I'll clean it out later. I'll get a paper towel. I'll spray it down with some bleach. I'll clean it out. The next time I'm going to go shave or the next time that, I think they're going to kick in my fucking door. And I realized it's just doing shit to make shit look pretty. I'm gonna get out the tortillas again. I have one at least once every day because it's better than bread. It is the alpha chad of carbohydrates. So I'm just gonna put all this shit away so I can get it out 12 hours later. Because Karen, it pleases her pussy. It makes her pussy feel better. If things are just weird and superfluous, and it's the same reason why women want 19 fucking pillows on the bed. Hey man, if you're pussy whipped and, you gotta have 19 pillows, fucking fine, but I ain't that, and I pay you to be here. And I just realized it doesn't matter. Karens just control everything because our society is so soy-based and so estrogenized, and we're a feminized bunch of pussies. And maybe we should stand up to Karens. And I'm really glad this meme is shedding light on this horrible issue destroying my country. Everything boom, everything boom, everything boom. Clive Winston says, some of these cops watched Judge Dredd one too many times. No, sir, you are not the law. I swear to God, it's fetishistic to them. I think that they just like to cause people harm. They don't seem like they're doing a job with grace and with joviality. That's not even a word. Suka Bliat says, Alabama haven't had any riots because of the Banjo Boys. Yeah, we got plenty of Banjo Boys here, man, and it still happens. Alabama. Yeah. Richard Righteous says, and get this, a guy called Michael Baden is doing an autopsy on George Floyd, the same guy that did the autopsy on JFK and Epstein. That's not fishy at all. Oh, Jesus, tap dancing Christ. And they released a statement, and they were like, well, we don't think that it's because somebody choked him for 9 minutes. You know, we don't think it's because someone crushed his windpipe. You know, the reason he died is because he has the underlying health effects. Yeah, I mean, as do I. You know, I've got some underlying health effects. You know what I mean? Like, I can run a mile in, 8 minutes. But I'm pretty sure if you stood on my windpipe for 9, I would not be alive. Goddamn, guys, lie down. You are making the narrative worse. And it's almost like they don't care. PKG96 says, all that spirit cooking elite shit is true. Bringing that fucking shit up. Fucking spirit cooking. When can we kill all of them? Just kidding. We shouldn't totally do that. Sarah says, looters tried to fuck with FedEx truck and got fucked. I saw that. And again, I gotta side with the FedEx guy. That looked bad on you, looters. When you were attacking a corporation, that's fine. But when you're attacking an individual and making him feel like his life isn't threatened, you kind of deserve to get run over. The law of the jungle. It's the bare necessities. Don't fucking try to open that truck. Brian X64 says, the government already released the alien documents. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know how I feel about UFOs. I think they're probably just experimental government aircraft that the Air Force isn't aware of yet. There's a really great documentary that you should watch called, it's actually free on YouTube with ads, and it's called Mirage Men. Really spoopy. I'm surprised they actually released it, because you know how YouTube is. If anything is even slightly conspiratorial, gotta censor that. So I'm surprised they let that go, which also honestly makes me think it's controlled op in a way. Sukabliat says, I've gotten my RIA 1911. I'm ready. Oh, no. You know that pistols are just really inefficient fucking rifles, though. You need a rifle, boyo. Your sidearm is called your sidearm for a reason. Americans are fucking obsessed with handguns. They really like handguns. Like, you realize rifles are infinitely more effective. Oh, by the way, guys, later on I'm going to be going and probably getting some meal prep stuff at my grocer. Drop your ideas for what I should get. I kind of don't want to do chicken. I guess it's pork. I kind of don't want to fuck with pork. I could do another hamburger. Yeah, but I'm tired of... I guess that's what I'm going to end up doing. Hamburger and vegetables and couscous. Okay. Is there any way to spice that up? It's like, I'm thinking Worcestershire sauce. Does that have a lot of... I don't think it's fattening. King the Warlock says, LA Riots 2.0 with a question mark. I don't know. It hasn't gotten that bad yet. Actually, yes, it has. Yeah, this is probably actually worse. Clive Winston says, easy. Use another search engine. DuckDuckGo is pretty good. Literally do the same search of a wrong think topic on both and see the results are night and day. I've done that before, but for some reason I'm also a lazy faggot that generally will not go to DuckDuckGo, and I just kind of hope that Google isn't being a jackboot about it. Twin Phalanx says, please use crazy T voice and say the boog news you can't refute. Hi there, cowpokes! This is Crazy T here with the boog news you can't refuse. I need a pop screen for this. I think somebody told me a sock would work as a pop screen. I think I've got an old sweaty ass shirt. I wore this shirt for like 4 days while running, and you don't even want to imagine the smell. Hi there, cowpokes! It's not working at all. Hi there, cowpokes! I'm Crazy T with the boog news you can't refuse. That did not work well. That was not. I guess that was a cheap pop screen. King the Warlock says, did you know that the Japanese don't teach the Holocaust in their grade school? It's not until you take World War II course in college. I mean, they do the same thing here in America. In America, we basically only ever got the colonies and slavery and Civil War over and fucking over again, and every year the kids asked when there was going to be a chapter on World War II, and they never, or Vietnam, and they never covered it. It was mostly just, feel bad for being you. Die. The Kurd123 says, speak more about guns, germs, and steel. Waiting for it to come back up. So I know it's going to fucking skip. Alright, hang on. I got to give myself a signal here. Because I'm watching the... Oh, okay, I think it came the fuck back up. Don't you just love it when they all of a sudden cut your feed because of wrongthink? Too many times mentioning Hillary Clinton being a lizard in a suit. Anyway... King of the Warlock says, some of the racism in the U.S. might come from the fact that after the emancipation, black people were actually getting jobs in the Senate, but the KKK gained a lot of power. Yeah, don't mention that the KKK was Southern Democrat Confederate. What? Who said? What that? 1924 Democratic National Convention was a Ku Klux Klan meeting. Yeah. Richard the Righteous says, order out of chaos. They cause the chaos, then they bring the order. Sounds about right. King the Warlock says, they only recently stopped teaching the lost cause myth in Southern schools. I'm not familiar with the lost cause myth. Churchill Bhatia says, Derek Chavanagh is the officer that had his knee on his neck. So everyone thinks that he's a CIA. You think he's a ghost? Clive Winston says, with all the shady software that is pushed on you, a burner PC is kind of necessary, definitely recommended. Well, then I suppose I would probably end up making this my burner PC. If nothing else, if I get that job, besides doing a whole lot of charity, God, I promise I'll be at that fucking soup kitchen every fucking Sunday. Or I guess whenever they're open. I guess I don't know if they're open on Sunday. Whatever. I want to get a badass gaming PC and play Call of Chernobyl. So there's that. Then I guess I can just keep this weird Lenovo as my burner. Clive Winston says, have y'all heard of the contact tracing stuff? It's some scary shit. I encourage researching to see if your phone does it and consider turning it off. Oh. Unfortunately, I probably don't have that much skills to turn it off. I just assume that they see me and I'm apathetic about it. I'm just like, get fucked. There was a really interesting, quasi-pop song that came out by a weird-ass artist called, Missio, M-I-S-S-I-O, or M-I-S-I-O? Not Missing, no, I know. And it was called Middle Fingers. And I felt like that was the theme to the death scene from my character from Vampires the Masquerade. It was just, fuck. I know I'm going down, so... Sir Blumpkin says, does Karens have that much power? Really? Yes, they collectively scree. They collectively scree for the thing that they want, which is usually some form of safety at the cost of my personal liberty. They generally just kind of want slavery. They're the epitome of... I sort of realize that we're going to get really in trouble for this fucking shit. How do I put this nicely? No, you can't say this. Yeah, I probably shouldn't. So there's this political party in the United States that is a racially hierarchical theocracy, and the prophets are essentially Karens, which is weird because the party represents itself as the benefactor of a bunch of smaller marginalized minorities, but in reality they just puppet the minorities to get whatever it is the Karens, who are the prophets at the top, want. And to back that up, I forward this piece of evidence, which was, so Rage Against the Machine, whenever they sing Wake Up, there's a part of it that a lot of people are familiar with, which they don't really understand the context of, and it's a part halfway through, where they go down to a really low bass line, and De La Roca reads off a memo that was sent from J. Edgar Hoover, the body remover, to another FBI bigwig, talking about investigations they were doing into players within the black nationalist scene. And Martin Luther King comes up, and he literally says, basically, yeah, we don't need to fuck with MLK as long as he, and I quote, remains submissive to the white liberal doctrine of nonviolence. But should he turn and embrace black nationalism, we will have no other choice but to neutralize him. So, it's almost like there's this political party run almost exclusively for the benefit of Karens, by Karens, that relies on militarizing a large amount of minorities that they have ranked in a weird hierarchical way based on race, religion, and sex. It is some weird Halo shit. You know what I mean? And if you should question the prophets and you want to know what the great journey is, congratulations, the Sangheili are out and the brutes go up a rank. But you didn't hear that from me. Like I said, that this is a theoretical political party. It's not like a real party, like the Democrats or anything, E-Monster, love that name. eMonster4 says, did you read The Last of Us 2 leaks? If so, what are your thoughts? We've already covered this before. I have read it. I vomited locusts for a million years, but now I'm really interested to see it come out because I just want to point and laugh and say, ha-ha. In fact, I will literally quote the biblical verse that Christians, for some reason, attribute to as evidence that there's a Satan. All right, you guys greatly misunderstand. He was the king of Tyre. It was a province. He was the king of a province of Babylon. But basically, I think it's no, it's not Isaiah. Oh, fuck. Who's the prophet? Jeremiah? It's not Jeremiah. It might be Jeremiah. Fuck, it's not Jeremiah. Well, whatever. Ezekiel. I fucking quote Ezekiel where he says, and I saw you fall, O morning star, into the pit where your peers gathered, the kings of earth, and they pointed and laughed at you for how far you had fallen. Basically, he was just saying within that context, if you don't set us free, Yahweh will pimp slap you off of your throne and into the pit. And I've seen how far you have fallen, Druckmann. And all the other developers will gather and project, City Red 6, whatever the people who make Cyberpunk 20, whatever the fuck, are going to point and laugh. And Rockstar will point and laugh at how far you have fallen. Clive Winston says, so you're telling me you get trashed and don't stuff your face with food? You're a madman. No, dude, I just get trashed and stay trashed for like 3 days. But not anymore. We're not doing that anymore. We're not going to do that anymore. Certainly. I'm not going to do that anymore. Well, I got 2 different interviews on Thursday. My ass better be sharp as a fucking tack. Crimson Angel 95 says, what do you fucking think of the 5th Rambo movie? I've never seen any of the Rambo movies, my guy. Then he says, what do you think of Paranormal Activity? Is it annoyingly overrated? Never seen one of those films, so yes. Sarah says, need to get on that anabolic French toast train. Those words don't make sense arranged together. I'm going to need you to try to smile to make sure that you're not having an fucking what? Anabolic French toast. How? I'm going to need you to explain it a bit. PKG96 says, Karen in Central Park, the racist FedEx driver, and George Floyd is why the protests happen. Wait a second. Are you blaming the FedEx driver who didn't want to be drugged from his car and killed like the guy in the LA riots? I see, now we're swinging to the other side here. I'm not siding with the police, but if I'm in my car and you try to make me leave my car, you're getting run over. The law of the jungle. See, it's all based on the law of the jungle. If you're an overwhelming, oppressive police force that constantly kills citizens who, were going about their day and whatnot, using excessive force, you kind of deserve some riots. If you are rioting and you attack innocent people and then you get your shit wrecked, you kind of deserved it. It's almost like all animals are, entitled by the right of God to defend their own lives and not Gubby. So, gonna have to disagree with you there. I don't know if there's another incident. It's possible because there's more than one FedEx driver in this country, but I assume you're talking about the dude who ran over the dude, but the guy was trying to get into the cab and kill him. This dude's name is Dan. It's 2 A's, so it's Dan. Says, has to be a dirty shirt. Doesn't work otherwise. Fuck yeah, dude. I think, I don't really give a shit, but it's just when all you do is get out, go running, hiking, or whatever, you sweat a shit ton, you get sunburned fucking easily, and oh, my shoulder is killing me. Not only from carrying the weighted vest as well as the backpack, but because they're burned to crisps because I'm a white boy. But it's like fucking you get a stink. And I think Hal was hiking with me this last time, and he said, and I quote, bro, you literally got to shower next time. I can smell you from here. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, but, I like being a filthy animal. I'm a fucking gangrel. It's what I am. I'm a goddamn barbarian. I fucking accept it. Yes, if I'm going to a job interview or I got a date with a bitch, which, then yes, I will, shit, shower, and shave, bud. But when does that shit ever happen? Well, actually, both have happened recently, but, I fixed it. The problem is I tried to get my fucking hair cut, but I walked in and went, sir, you cannot get your hair cut. We're helping old people right now. And I'm just like, fucking get this fucking COVID shit. I just remembered that cutie from work texted me. God damn it. For sure. Oh. No. Let it go. She was just asking about the gym. Why is she asking you about the gym? She can look that shit the fuck up herself. It comes across as though you want some D, girl. No, she wants some attention. Be strong, Tolstoy. God. For she is... And now we must quote from the Gospel of Future. Hang on. No, this bit is worth it. You're holding on. Okay. We now quote from the Gospel of Future, chapter 1, verse 1. And from the streets did she emerge, and to the streets she shall return. And I say unto you, she is for the streets. So be not weary when she must return from whence she came. There you go. That helps. Keeps me fucking strong, man. Keeps me strong with these hoes. And everyone's just like, Jesus, Tolstoy. What the fuck? I'm like, is that Coke in your... I wish it was Coke in my coffee. Oh my God, cocaine and coffee? Sounds amazing. Kane the Warlock says, I love hearing that after some guy learned about Area 51, the Air Force were about to make the statement until the guy said aliens, and then they just went, oh, okay, he's retarded, we're fine. Yeah. Everything bumped. Scroll back up. Scroll back up. Sicklebliat says, dude, I already have that Kalash AR and enough FUD stuff. All right. Well, then, you know, you need to, wherever your location is, man, we need to hook up, man. We need to get the Boogists together for whatever's coming. Clive Winston says, hey, when did I become a mod? Now I can put people in timeout. I made you a mod last time because you're pretty much a lieutenant now. You know what I mean? Plus, you have the Espada, so, you know. That's like your sidearm there. That's your honorary sidearm in the Tolstoy army here. Kane the Warlock says, I learned about the Holocaust in 8th grade. We didn't really cover the Civil War till History 1 in high school, but World War II and U.S. History 2. Very strange. Tim Taylor says, say it, brother. Feminism. No, that's... no. Kleptocracy? Oh, yeah, klept. That's interesting. So PKG96 brings up kleptocracy, which is an interesting term that kind of came about. We're going to talk about Jared Diamond and Guns, Germs, and Steel. He basically has an entire chapter dedicated to the way that societies transition from band level to tribal level to chiefdom to nation state. So by the time that you get to chiefdom, tribal level societies do have unappointed leaders, usually known as big men. Narbona of the Navajos would be a big man. You know what I mean? Like Squanto would have been a big man. They're not fucking leaders. They are, but it's like Elon Musk. Like he's our leader just in the sense that he's a very important rich guy that we like. Right? So, but the point is that once we reach chiefdom status, basically is where we start seeing more social complexities, and we start seeing that there is a chief who doesn't necessarily have to grow his own food. We also see that there are some level of bureaucrat, some kind of scribe or king's guard, something like that, whose job is just to do that thing. Professional soldiers tend to be like one of the biggest fucking things, professional warriors kind of thing. So there has to be a kleptocracy. It is what it is, what it sounds like. The aristocracy, the oligarch, whatever, collects all of the grain from the grain farmer. This is assuming that we've reached this kind of level of production. You know, there's still herder societies, AC/DC herder societies, and also people who, grow grain. They collect sheep, they collect the grain. Well, they have to justify this theft. You know what I mean? So in order to justify the chiefdom, they have, Jared Diamond breaks it down into 4 distinct fucking reasons, or 4 distinct strategies for how you merit kleptocracy. And I forget all of them, but the 3 most important one that I really liked was 1, doing public services, public good, stuff. So you say, well, guys, we had to gather all that, grain in order to make the beer bread that we use to pay the guys who make the pyramids. We all know you love those. They're dope as shit. I don't know how people go along with that, because it's like, okay, but it's not my tomb. All right, whatever. People are sheep. So 2 was literally disarm them. 2 was literally, well, you can disarm all the farmers and just use professional soldiers to absolutely oppress the shit out of them. Like, that doesn't sound relevant at all. I don't think that ever happens, Jared. I just don't think so. And then the 3rd one, which was the most interesting, was use religion to convince the commoners that, like, you are some sort of priest class that you have to pay in order to make the rain come. See the Anasazi. The Anasazi eventually had a drought. When the people thought that the priests were fucking them over, they killed the priests and ate them. And then their society went under. Interesting stuff. Kane the Warlock says, the lost cause of the Confederacy is a belief that from the belief that form by the Confederacy after the Civil War, painting them as the heroes of the evil North. Part of it is the "it was about states' rights" only thing. Oh, I've already looked into that. I actually used to argue that point, and then a dude that I used to debate with kind of beat my shit down and showed me enough evidence that was like, nah, it was definitely always about owning slaves and racism. And I was like, okay then. And I changed my mind. Sarah then says, COINTELPRO? I don't know what that is. Haven Namira says, a military drone just flew over my mother's neighborhood, circled 4 times, and flew off the west. The direction of Andrews Air Force Base. I saw 2 C-30 whatever the fuck planes flying over the downtown area recently, but we're close enough to a military installation that kind of makes sense. But yeah, there's been a lot of scuttlebutt about them, organizing actual military units, including the 82nd Airborne. So we need to be careful. I'm not being careful. I don't give a shit. My life has no value. PKG96 says, no, the guy screaming at him. Sir Blumpkin says, wonder if 2020 will be made into a movie. It needs to be. Kaz says, me poo, me pant. Fucking amazing. Brilliant. Brilliant art there, sir. Sarah says, French toast, but you put way up in that bitch. Anabolic French toast. Doesn't anabolic mean, like, without... it's anabolic... Like, doesn't it mean... Like, anabolic... I forget. Clive Winston says, do you feel like the riot and looting are justified? I used to think it was pointless violence, but recently realized the government breached the social contract, so people must punish them. No, I don't totally believe that you're right. No justice, no peace. Don't trust the police. No, I'm sorry. Don't complete that sentence. Anthony Lopez says, I've been watching you since I was a kid, man. I'm grown up. It's crazy. Yeah, man. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Sir Blumpkin says, hate to be that guy, but isn't dating coworkers frowned upon? I don't work with her anymore, and it doesn't matter. She's got that ass. That ass. But yeah, I did try to get it while I was working there. But she has a boy. It's been a long fucking ordeal, all right? Never mind. I'm not going through all this again. People who are like Sarah and Clive are already, unfortunately, too familiar with my horrible, horrible dating life. Sarah says, this went from racists versus non-racists to a full class war. I'm with it. Yeah, but they keep on trying to distract from the class war by making it about race again. Sarah says, nobody said anything about dating. They're either fucking or fighting. Either way, someone is leaving in an ambulance. We're doing neither. She's a bitch that needs to figure out to suck this dick. No, actually, I would date the shit out of her, too. She actually has a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride, and she don't care. So, yeah, no, trust me, she does not care. But she keeps texting me. I keep ignoring her, and I'm just like, listen, bitch. And then every time I talk to her, I just try to make it about, like, let's fucking meet up. Let's go running. You know what I mean? Last time we had this conversation about fitness, she was like, well, when the gyms open back up, I'd love to go to your gym. And I was like, oh, girl, you could fucking spot me while I bench. And she's like, I don't know. I don't think I'd be a very good... But, there's another guy that I know that you would really like. And I'm like, no, And I was like, okay, bye, fine. See ya. The next day, I was like, look, I'm doing a lot of forced marches and some running. I know that you suck at the climbing gym. Maybe you want to, just do some fucking hiking with me or whatever, some gentle walking. She's like, well, no, because I'm like, fine, bitch. Then don't text me. Die. Fuck. Sorry, I haven't been this pissed off in years. Like, if she just wasn't super ideal, you know what I mean? Like, there's generally nothing in America that I want, but I kind of want this, but she's still kind of a bitch. I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's America, so all the women here... Don't complete that sentence. Also, I don't know if you know this. Oh my god. Nope. No. Nope. No. It is done. Hang on. Oh. Back you go. Fuck. Oh. Jesus. Oh my god. It feels like there's a river on my... Never mind. Don't get too Oh, man, that's amazing. Oh, I feel so free, but now you can see how bad, crisped up my white ass is. And yes, I wore a tank top. It's very fucking hot in the south, and a lot of people that I go hiking with end up getting heat exhaustion. It's no fucking game. I know, I don't look good in it, but what am I supposed to fucking do? They closed my goddamn gym. Well, what am I supposed to do about it? That feels so fucking good. Oh my god, it's not a billion degrees anymore. Twin Phalanx says, here in Cincinnati, the police opened fire point blank with rubber bullets and tear gas. I myself got shot in the stomach and got really nasty bruise. Yep, and I'm seeing it fucking everywhere. And anyway. Richard Righteous says, George Soros is funding and instigating the violence. Come on, people. Protest infiltrators are being exposed daily, but the videos won't be put in front of your eyes. You actually have to look for them. No, you don't. They're being put right in front of my eyes. My Facebook feed is nothing but people catching these motherfuckers. Doesn't surprise me, you know, how George Soros is. A weird globalist, filthy lizard cocksucker. Shrek Network. Motherfucker's name is Shrek Network. Says, class war? Finally, we're getting to the heart of the actual war. Thank you, Scarf Dude. Hey, it's a Shemog. And it was hot and itchy. Kaz says, DS Lite review incoming. If it'll make you all shut up! Years they've been asking about it. Fuck. This is my brother's Nintendo DS Lite. This is the lighter model of the Nintendo DS, which was released in, like, I think 2006. I don't care. As you can see, I got mine with, I got mine in black because I didn't want to be racist, but I also kind of thought it'd be cool to get, like, a white stopper because I lost the other stopper. This is what this is called, a stopper. You can put Game Boy Advance. By the way, this was actually one of the best systems ever fucking made. I kind of want to go and collect a bunch of DS Lite games now. Tolstoy, you are poor. Anyway, you'll notice that I was playing Pokemon Black 2. I got black because I didn't want to be racist. By the way, Pokemon Black and White, one of the best generations. You can, by the way, I don't know if there's some ASMR in here, but you can. Fuck, I always scrape the goddamn mic. I'll never be an ASMR artist, Mom. People don't like me. Maybe it's because I'm a little bitch. Okay. Shrek Network says, hope Scarf Dude isn't the next I Can't Breathe victim of the... Dude, they're not gonna give you the chance to videotape it. It's gonna be a black bag squad that comes through that front door. And you know what they're gonna get greeted with? Pop, 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 watching motherfuckers drop. Clive Winston says, by the way, what is that steel cup you've got there? Do you recommend it? Dude, this is like the greatest boo gear I have. I got this from a shitty REI ripoff store in Annapolis called, like, the Outdoor Store. And this thing is, like, the most utilitarian cup. I use this for everything. For kratom, booze, coffee, blood. I don't know, not that last one. Why Lie says, I made the comment on a Tolstoy livestream a while ago saying COVID was a hoax, was New World Order setup. Now protests are the narrative of NWO forceful because of riots. You got it. I'm glad that we're all on the same issue, though. I'm glad that so many people see it, but that it's like enough people in the crowd are going, it's a puppet. This isn't real. I can see the strings, but the puppet master's still going, no, you can't, and dancing, and we're like, yeah, the strings are right there. No, you don't even know. Oh, no, you don't. And they just keep on dancing it, and I'm like, okay, we're still doing this, huh? God damn. I Need Gain says, boy, get some aloe vera for those burns. I did. I put aloe vera on it. It's all on the back of my neck, too. God damn. I literally thought yesterday, I was like, should I put on some sunscreen? But I looked at the weather, and it was like 70, mostly cloudy, or partly cloudy. I was like, nah, I'll be fine. I know you fucking won't. You white as hell. Willem Dafoe's Fruitcake is in. He says, hello. Hello, William. Churchill Bhatia says, I have a friend who calls tank tops slutty t-shirts. Well, I hope it's, well, I don't know. I mean, do I look good? I mean, are you down? One of the greatest things ever is all of the outtakes. They actually did a lot of goofy takes on Parks and Rec set because they were allowed to do what they called dirty takes, which were just like you could say whatever you fucking wanted, and they ended up at the rap party and then like as extra features on DVDs and shit, and ended up on YouTube. And just all the stupid, weird sexual shit that all of them say in order to get them to crack up. And I think my absolute favorite was who's who's the guy? Well, anyway, the guy who plays Andy. I can't believe I forgot his fucking name. He was in Jurassic Park. I really like him. You know who I'm talking about. He's talking to one of the other characters after they got married on the show, and he's like, "You got to remember, man, just my piece of advice for you." And he's standing next to Aubrey Plaza, who's his wife in the show, and he's like, "You got to keep it tight for her, man." And like just without hesitation, Adam Scott's like, "My butthole." It's like, "No, man, your body. The fuck?" And then like. He talks to Aubrey Plaza. He leans over and he's like, "And what is it, that thing that you always tell me, sweetie?" And without even skipping a beat, Aubrey Plaza goes, "Don't take it out until I scream." It's just the stupidest, and like everyone loses their shit. It's the stupidest fucking shit, but I really like that. I know that's so childish, but you can make any situation instantly hysterical by just becoming weirdly sexual with it. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. God, and now the show that I've replaced Parks and Rec with, I took your guys' advice, specifically Hal's advice, and I ended up watching Community, which is really good. I'm really fucking enjoying Community. So I highly recommend that. I'm only on season 1 right now. Shrek Network says, who am I kidding? This dude's probably a paid government actor. Nothing good comes from Earth anymore. Can I get paid for being an actor? Is that how that works? Hillary Clinton, hit me up. You have my number. I know you do because you just go to the NSA and hack my shit. Kaz says, finally, after years of waiting, the coveted Tolstoy DS Lite review. Now open it with the Cold Steel Espada. I can't. I sold the Cold Steel Espada. Twin Phalanx says, we had our hands up at everything. The rubber bullets aren't supposed to be shot directly at people, at least not point blank. But now I'm dreading doing ab crunches. Yeah, those rubber bullets, they can actually kill. And in simunition training within the military, you're supposed to be wearing, like, a full face mask every time you do simunition training. But, that's the military. They don't want to kill those guys. They're not, like, peaceful protesters. Clive Winston says, Emerald had the best starters. Changed my mind. They did, but I liked the setting of New York. I don't know what to tell you. Kane the Warlock says, I've seen less strings in early sci-fi B movies than this. For real, man. I've fucking seen the Starship Enterprise in the 60s had less goddamn strings. Willem Dafoe, he mentioned Chris Pratt. Yeah, man. Fucking Chris Pratt. Just the other outtake I can't get out of my head is Hot Snakes. I got Hot Snakes, you guys. Aubrey Plaza's sitting right there with Nick Offerman, and she's like, what's Hot Snakes? And he pauses for half a second, looks right into the camera, and goes, where the diarrhea comes out like a hot snake, and immediately fucking Nick Offerman loses it and just starts cracking up. I love that whole show. Sarah comments, Aubrey Plaza is fine. Okay, so the two hotties of that show, the two queens who duke it out for supremacy, is going to be Aubrey Plaza versus Rashida Jones. I'm going to give it to Rashida Jones. I love Aubrey Plaza. I love that she's fucking weird, but she's also done some Satanist shit. So, like, immediately you lose clout with me, girl. Sorry about that. Can't get that. Can't be doing that. Can't be fucking the Satanist V. That's not what we're about. Wylai says, also, on a lighter, from NWO, genocide, mass destruction, and ultimately human enslavement, when is your next review video coming? Review anything you want. I don't know. I mostly have, like, I put up 2 videos of me hiking. I've got a third one, but I don't know if I should publish it because some weird shit goes down in it, but it was fun. Twin Phalanx says, have you tried to watch Happy? Yeah, I saw it. It's not, the premise looks a little out there for me. Churchill Bhatia says, what do you think of Rick and Morty? It's not as good as Dan Harmon's Community. I think it lost a lot when Dan Harmon hired a bunch of, diversity hires. He hired a bunch of women to write, and now they write SJW shit, and it's fucking shit. Sarah says, I've been seeing headshot after headshot with those rubber bullets. Yeah, and women, too. Specifically, like, these, like, frail-looking, nice, effeminate women, and they're shooting them in the face, and these women are literally, like, coming home, or like, I'm just coming home from grocery shopping, and, of course, that makes them a target, because, free citizens can't be doing stuff. Gotta stay in your home and starve, It's the way it is. Fuck. Churchill Bhatia says, Aubrey Plaza has done Satanist shit. Yeah, she admits to doing it. She's done some shit with the Church of Satan or whatever. And I'm like, oh, girl, you lost me. Sorry, man. My D's just for show now. Clive Winston says, ever watch Trailer Park Boys? That may be the best TV comedy ever produced. Yeah, no. Zach really wanted me to get into it, but I wasn't really down. Clive Winston says, publish the hiking video. The spice must flow. Yeah, but I'm gonna have to heavily edit it. I also could possibly also publish that. I forgot that we had that that second episode of the what's it? The like Skype, but it's not the Discord server. But I'd have to heavily edit that. Those memes were a bit spicy. Sir Blumpkin says, will there be more plastic crap reviews, Mr. Toy reviews? There aren't really a lot of plastic crap out there, but yes, but they'll be on a paywall behind my Patreon, because that way they can't nail me with that copy shit. Because, like, I mean, I require that you admit to being 18 or older for that, so that's how we're going to have to do it, guys. Super sorry. Sarah says, gimme a witchy bitch. I can take it. No. It's okay to be weird. It's not okay to fuck witchy bitches. Alright? It's okay to have that aesthetic. But you can't, you know... Just fucking kidding me. I know that bitches don't actually do that. Clive says you could publish it in full on Patreon. It wouldn't stop. I'm not afraid of YouTube. I'm afraid of what people might think about my actions. I don't think they were all that bad, but I don't want to become the new Logan Paul. It wasn't poking corpses, I swear. It's just... The other thing is that I literally found an enchanted graveyard. Some of the headstones there are very fucking old. Some of them have markings on them from a war that occurred in America. And if people could figure out where the location is, they could go and hurt that place. And I'm not down for that. So, I don't know. It's almost a little bit like Batman in the third movie where he's like, I couldn't make the fucking reactor thing work because people could weaponize it. I'm Batman. Sir Blumpkin says, how fucked is the humidity down there in the South? Oh, fucked. It's the South. What do you think? You think it ain't, like, fucking dank as shit? Like, right now I got a river on my balls. Not that you wanted to know about that. While I says, what's the best state in the USA? I'm from the UK. That's a spicy fucking question to ask. Jesus, you're trying to start a civil war up in here? I'm sure a lot of people are going to say Texas, but they didn't have mountains. Colorado, Oregon, Montana. You know, that's just my opinion. Some people really like beaches, and in which case, California. I guess actually really California, because they have both mountains and beaches, but it's occupied by this unholy army of Karens and cucks, and it just needs to get nuked clean. It's very sad. It's the prettiest state in the Union. It just needs to get nuked clean. Churchill Bhatia says, man, for some reason that reminds me of the video of Demi Moore making out with a 15-year-old. Weird shit, Hollywood. Yeah, fucking Hollyweird. Twin Phalanx says, so how long till we end up in a police state and Orange Man declares martial law? Isn't that like the seventh seal of the Boog? Yeah, we're coming up on that fast. And I'm a little bit scared. Kyle Young says, published to Pornhub, problem solved. No, it's not about censorship. It's a matter of I don't necessarily think I should publish it. Sarah says, live remote in Montana. Live remote in Montana. That's the dream. It is, but it unfortunately requires resources. You actually have to make like a medium income, about $40,000 to live there, and that's kind of bullshit. And I have a whole rant that I could go on about that, but I'm not going to subject y'all to it. Ani Gain says, don't live there, but North Dakota, get rich working in the oil fields, or Idaho. Okay, Idaho actually has mountains, though. Idaho is actually they're on the roll call for best states. They have nice natural resources as well. Then a couple of their cities are actual real cities that exist, I think, on a large lake or something like that. It looks fucking beautiful. That being said, North Dakota. Oh, that's some nice corn right there. Like it's flat. Actually, it's not necessarily. They might have some mountains there. I've been through South Dakota. They got mountains there, but still, there's nothing fucking there. Like, I like living in rural North Carolina because if I really want to go to a city, like Charlotte's about 2.5 hours from me. Like it's fucked up, but I could do an overnight trip to Charlotte, or whatever. See a city or some shit like that. And fucking get a hooker. Maybe not that last one. No, yeah, that last one. Sir Blumpkin says, so what's so appealing about Montana? It's wild and untamed. Like, you know me. Do you watch my channel? I want to go live in Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, that's what I want. And it has all that shit out there. Woman's Post Fruitcake says, somebody posted the entirety of Clue onto Pornhub. God bless them. One of the heroes of this boog is some dude snatched the mic from a reporter and shouted "fuck her" right in the pussy and then ran off. He's a true soldier. Richard the Righteous says, have you been to Flagstaff? I'm from the UK, but I spent a year there and I loved it. Isn't that in Arizona? Oh, I have been through Arizona. Don't think I have. No. Green Kid with 2D says, I live here in LA. The land is beautiful. It's got variety, but the cities are also trash, smell like piss, and the people on crack walk around yelling. If you visit the beaches here in Cali, go to OC beaches. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like, you guys had the Shire, and you built fucking Mordor over top of it. So, like, maybe get nuked. Kyle Young says, Utah has loads of national parks and stuff. It's a great place for outdoorsmen. That's true, but it's not green. It's desert. It's also expensive to live there. I don't know why. Every place that shouldn't be expensive is still expensive. It's almost like America's turning into a third world fucking Banana Republic shithole. And, well, these riots are an expression of that rage. Ya-ta-ta-ta-ta. Man, you guys know how to make a cup of coffee last. Oh, my back. Everything's singed. I need to make a meal prep, man. What am I aha! Ooh, it's both a good stretch and a really fucking bad burn. Ugh. Ow. Fuck. Oh, yeah, I haven't eaten anything today. I guess I should eat my meal prep. Fuck it, I guess I could eat it on stream. Yeah. Doesn't stop me from fucking eating it on stream. It's kind of fucking weird, but... those sticky things. I can see it in the reflection. I got these fucking little black specks on my goddamn arm, and they're coming from this couch. It's not this couch. This chair. Its fake Naugahyde wrap is coming the fuck off, and little flakes of this brown shit are ending up on my damn arms because they're sticky. Willem Dafoe's Fruitcake says he deserves a medal for his brave sacrifice. He does. He is the hero that we need. He is the brightest light and darkest night. While I says, do the people make a state great or shit, or is it the other way around? I think it's both, yin and yang. Clive Winston says, ever do some camping in the Outer Banks? Shit is cash money. I want to. It's one of my life dreams and hopes. But, you know, I'm Poe. And every time that I start making good money, I have to fucking quit my job because otherwise I'll be fired. I also found out that whole place went to shit without me, and another person got fired. So I'm pretty fucking happy about that. They've lost people, and it's going to shit. And that person was actually a really good worker. I knew that person, but that's okay. You know, that's all it takes is one Karen to get in there and get assy about stuff. Ya-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. I Need Gain says, the people make the state. Go to New Jersey if you want to see a state made shit by the people there. You know, I do know some good people from Jersey, though. Churchill Batia says, would you ever travel to the Middle East? I'd actually like to, but I'd have to be allowed to carry a gun, but I know that they're never going to let me do that. The same was true of Mexico. I'd love to, like, go through some rural areas of Mexico, but I know that the people that they won't let me carry a fucking gun. So I'm like, all right, your loss. I was going to bring all my gringo money and stimulate your economies, but, you know, if you don't want to, yeah, that's on you, bud. Twin Failing says, my grandmother asked, why are people destroying property? I told her the reason is that they don't have a reason not to destroy it. Yeah, you fucking understand social ransom. You know what I mean? Fuck Karen's social contract. Like, but you can't do it because I said so, because I'm really benefiting from it, but I'm going to pretend that we all benefit from it, but really it's only me. Like, all right, Karen, well, you just came out of the closet then. You know, only you were benefiting from it, so get fucked. Karen doesn't strike me as the kind that likes to get fucked. They seem crotchety. Seem like they could use some D. Maybe that would, like, you know, loosen them up a bit, but too crotchety to get dicked. You know how that is. Think about going and putting my meal prep in the fucking thing. Yeah, I should probably do it. Give me a sec. Comment at your leisure. Oh, fuck. Sorry about that. Guys gotta eat. I usually attempt to eat early in the afternoon, my, like, big meal or whatever, in an attempt to, keep my stomach open for, special tea later. Hello. So I got my meal prep here. I showed this off on the Facebook as I was making them. But basically, it's just a pound of hamburger with a half cup of couscous and then just a shit ton of stir-fried vegetables that have been fried in coconut oil. Good for them multi-chain triglycerides. And some black beans. You know, let's see, hang on. This is actually a little underdone. I'm hungry. This is now lip smacking ASMR. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize how hungry I was. Well, you haven't eaten in over 12 hours. Oh, yeah. I don't get how I'm so fat. I mean, it's nothing but meat and vegetables. They're not even starchy. I mean, a little bit of couscous, but that's actually high in protein. It's not quinoa, but, you know, what are you going to do about it? Okay. Shrek Network says, no, Slab City is where no longer Scarf Dude should visit. It's Dude's future real estate. So I've heard of Slab City. One of my greatest heroes, Christopher Alexander Supertramp McCandless, actually had been there, I think, right before he went to Alaska. It's on my radar. I'm trying to get my adventure XP up, though. When I went into this period of, we'll call it isolation instead of unemployment. I looked into what it would take to live in a van because I was just so done with society. I thought it'd be cool to, but it's not as easy to be a tramp these days. People don't pick up hitchhikers like they used to. We have less social cohesion in the 90s. I mean, look at how little social trust we have right now. We're having riots. You know? I do love hamburger. Huh. I Need Gains says, so what is the signal for go time? Just wondering, sitting here on my hands and wondering when I should join the fray. Like I know. I don't know. I'm also afraid to answer that question. You never know who's glowing. You know? You never fucking know how much of this they're doing to study and to see when we'll go and to bait us into going. I don't trust anybody. Unfortunately. I've had really good friends contact me and say they've converted to Boogism. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm sure. You know? I guess I could just make more of this shit. That's not bad. No, the whole thing needs a little bit more garlic, though. Willem Dafoe's Fruitcake says, that's a nice chair, my guy. Not really. It's falling apart. It was worth $150 fucking when I first bought it. Or so they say. I hate how much they've monetized our dollar bill. To the point where it's, like, worth nothing. So, I've had, like, the same dresser since I was, like, 10. Well, the bitch finally broke. It was cheap Chinese manufactured crap anyway. So I think. You know. I tried to fix it. I really did. I tried to use, like, carpenter glue, new screws and everything, trying to fix the, like, little shelf that the thing slides on. Busted. The holes are fucked. I don't have the power tools to fix it. You know, I looked into what it would take to get a new one, just from, like, Target or whatever. There is no place that sells a cheap one. See, in my mind, I think that a cheap dresser roughly costs about $80. these people seem to believe that all of these things are now worth $130. And I remember when they were back, around $80, maybe about 10 years ago, like around the 2010s, 2009. Yeah, well, here's the issue. Fucking wages didn't go up. So you're trying to fuck me on the deal. You're trying to punk me, Well, does he look like a bitch? Because Mr. Wallace doesn't like to get fucked like a bitch. He doesn't like to get fucked by anyone except for Mrs. Wallace. Yeah? And that's what they're trying to do. And that shit royally pisses me off. So a bunch of cheap Chinese-ass goods should cost... They keep monetizing the dollar. They want more and more. They won't raise the goddamn, the wages. They won't give access to better education. And yet we're all just supposed to keep on buying goods that break in a fucking year. You know what? Target deserved to have its shit burned down. Fuck them. Y'all say fuck me? Okay, bitch. Fuck you too. That's how we do. Sharky McShark says, I hate my life. Join the club. Sarah says, the tactics they're using down in Heckler and Koch. HK. The tactics that... in Hong Kong. I'm like, Heckler and Koch? What are they doing in Heckler and Koch? The tactics they're using down in Hong Kong need to trickle down to us. All it takes is a little strategy, and we take this bitch down. We don't have that much social cohesion. We had this discussion before. They're monogamous. They're a homogenized people. Homogenized people generally all speak like the same language. They all have like same cultural values. America tries to be that, the melting pot, but much like this fucking meal prep, it has a similar flavor, but there's still different fucking ingredients. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's going to be a lot of people who will, because of their, say, like, their religion, like Catholicism, will have this, like, kind of pro-establishment feeling. And there'll be a lot of people who, because of their lack of religion, will have an anarchy feel. The people from Hong Kong are more united. We are not. We are very politically divided. We don't necessarily have to be. But the news media keeps on pushing it, and everyone in America is a fucking beta, so. Oh, yeah. But that's the thing. Everyone acts like they have, like, these different fucking goals. You know what I mean? Like, as a libertarian, my only goal is that the state step the fuck off and people be free. I'm down with some of the shit that the socialists say about what needs to get done. But the issue is that it's implicit in their statement that, like, once the Antifas get what they want, then, like, we're going to have some weird-ass socialist world where, like, we have equality of outcome, which is not the fucking shit that I want to do. I don't do diversity hires. I want equality of opportunity. You know what I mean? Which is, like, everyone can fucking apply for this job. But may the best person fucking win, regardless of, which fucking means that there's going to be, like, a shit ton of Indians and Chinese who end up working in IT and shit, because that's just what they're it's what's culturally relevant in their society and shit like that. And it's true of them back home. It's true of them fucking here. So, that's why we can't fucking unite. The people that I would be down to boog with, usually, although I feel like we are kind of unifying. More and more we're seeing people float to the center, which is fine. That's what we want. I don't know. The problem is radical centrists don't usually... It's hard to get them to boog. Who's texting me? Is this Sweetie from work again? Oh, Hal. Hey, Hal. Cutie from work. I'd eat your ass like it was just meal prep. Okay, I wouldn't really do that. I'm not down to do that. I mean, girl, unless you want me to. Sorry. I don't usually eat in front of people because I'm an animal. It feels good. Do. Stephen Knight's here. He says, I'm late, but I made it. Hey, man, better late than never, yo. YLI says, I'm not black, but I'm curious about something. Why are black people called African Americans and white people are not called European American? Okay, because leftist weirdos in, like, the 1990s wanted to make up some new term so they could call anyone who still used the term black racist. It's a weird power grab move. It's fucking weird. It's some Karen shit. And then the new one is people of color, which I hate saying because if you just rearrange that sentence, what you're actually saying is colored pencils are really, like, fuck off with that shit. It is literally, and now that we've gone full fucking circle and Ouroboros is eating its own goddamn tail, And I'm like, fuck, man. Like, we just need to pick up... Oh, anyway. Ooh, not bad. I think I used a little bit too much coconut oil in one of them, though. Because I ate one of these the other day. Then I went for a run, or a hike, really. And by the time that I got to the park, which is just big enough to be a park, but just small enough that it's really kind of just a state park or a city park. Let's just say I had to fertilize the tree. Dude, med kits. They have gauze in them. It was a good decision. Oh, no! I want that big hunk of fucking beef. Get the fuck out of here. Fucking meat, man. Sarah says nationality, ethnicity, and race needs to be taught more. Fair enough. I agree. Churchill Bhatia says, what do you think about the environmental researchers such as Vandana Shiva saying that lentils are the crop of the future? It's not bad. I'm a huge proponent of beans. High in protein, high in fiber. They grow fast. They're one of the miracle foods. Not necessarily lentils, though. My deal is more either black beans or pinto beans. Excuse me. Like, my meal prep is mostly hamburger. Where am I getting fat from? I do eat a little bit of cheese with tortilla with some refried beans, but again, it's all mostly protein and fiber and fat. Like, apparently, if I'm walking 8 miles a day, at least with weight on my back, sometimes running it, that should burn at least 800 calories. Why? Why is it? Stephen Knight says, another good food prep meal is some fish fried in a pan with a little butter with some diced tomatoes and avocado. Man, it's goody. Okay. I feel you. I don't know if I can do fish right. I don't know, man. Some people have that where they can't eat fish. I can do it, but I made myself sick on chicken. Like, I literally just ate so much fucking chicken that I'm like, never again. I don't know why. I'm not ready for chicken again. You know? Fish. God damn you. My hamburger. I literally just inhaled a grain of couscous. Fucking couscous, man. But, I need gains says avocado, oh hell no. And then Stephen Knight says, I need gain. Hell yes, need them good fatty acids. Hell yeah, I love avocados. That's a very millennial thing to say, but like, fuck off, I love avocados. That's nothing. Yeah, I do a lot of guacamole. Tex-Mex is pretty much the best food. I mean, it goes up there next to like Japanese, but that's my favorite type. Consider what I'm eating is literally, I mean, uses couscous instead of rice, but it's just literally just fried hamburger with like peppers, onions, mushrooms, and black beans. No sauce. Ugh. Sharky McShark says, if you have to live in any country outside of the States, where would you go? The Philippines. The women, the fact that they have guns, they're pretty much traditional Catholics, and their culture is a little bit absolutely insane. They're also just on that like edge of like a third world country that's getting its shit together, so there's a lot of potential for some Far Cry style shit. Also, the food, pretty fucking decent. Have I mentioned the women? Stephen Knight says, Hong Kong is more united because they have a very low cultural diversity, so it's easy. There you go. So Stephen even already fucking knew. It's just like, I tried to explain this to somebody earlier in the stream who's, I think it's username Why Lie, because he's from a European country. And he's like, how come there's so much like racial tension in your country? I'm like, it just comes with the fact that we literally invited fucking everyone in. It's like, you ever wonder how shit would actually go if you really did a fucking, what's it called? Noah's Ark? Like, some of the animals would try to eat the other fucking animals, man. It's unfortunate, but a lot of different cultures clash and vie for dominance. Well, that's just kind of like how it is. We attempt to create a state that is fair and doesn't favor anyone and tries to make all of these societies and cultures play nicey-nicey, but it doesn't always work. And sometimes the people who are in charge of that kill a bunch of people. Why, God? Why are we here? Willem Dafoe's Fruitcake says, seeing people being killed by their protectors, interesting, gives me conniptions, but doesn't fucking surprise me. They're getting a little brazen with it, so it doesn't like surprise me. I have this feeling like they don't recognize that like it's in like we're airing it live. It's instantaneous. It's not like I have to go home and upload it to YouTube. A lot of people are streaming live when they see these atrocities happening because the cops just act like, oh, it's not a big deal that we're getting cited. Really? It's almost as though they don't even care if they have a bad image anymore, which really worries me. No. Mm-mm. Sorry, almost done. Oh, Stephen Knight says, what's couscous? I've heard of it before in that 90s Alvin and the Chipmunk movie, but I've never seen it. It's like a Middle Eastern grain. It's very small. It's like a tiny rice. Yeah, hang on. Fucked up, but... See, like, the little white thing vibrating on my, like, fork here? Oh. Anyway, 7 grams of protein for every serving. It's more protein dense than rice, but less than quinoa. I'd like to get my hands on quinoa, but I live in Redneckville, and they don't know what that is. Which is weird, because we have a Mexican place that serves it. Oh, yeah, I know. Now the insulin is kicking in. It's like bleh, making me feel kind of. Willem Dafoe says couscous is fucking delicious. So the way I do my couscous dump is I use garlic salt, and a large helping of butter. Everything bump. Green Kid says I feel the opposite. People are moving away from the center. People are moving to extreme left or right values. People are sick of the centrist view. We are in a split down the middle. Oh, really? Okay. Consider that where we get our news sources. I feel like that's a mainstream media narrative because they're trying to force division. I find that on social media or just IRL, most people are floating towards some form of can't we just be free, the state is goose stepping, which is good. It's good. Like, it's rare to find anyone who is anti-gun these days. That's good. I did see somebody post something the other day on social media that they were like, well, you see, it's a matter of race because you see these like black protesters got their shit tear gas, but these white protesters from a couple weeks ago were armed, and see they were allowed to be armed, but the black people aren't. And I'm like, bro, you're literally naming the reason why that happened. Like you're like, well, you see this one sheep. It was a black sheep, and there was a white sheep. The black sheep got its shit eaten by a wolf because the wolf is racist, but the white sheep was armed. And I'm like, you will see that's the reason why. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they always try to like rock this narrative of, well, gun owners in America they wouldn't want black people to have guns. And I'm like, go ahead and buy them. Let's do it. I want to be there when you buy it because I don't have no money, but I'll enjoy your purchase with you. I even, and that's one of the incidents that happened with Cutie from work. I got to get my libertarian nuts off, and I think she was getting flirty with me. She basically was like, well, this guy invited me to a party, but I didn't want to go because I knew it would be a bunch of other guys, and I'm, like, afraid because then I might get whatever. And she's, like, expecting me to be like, some supplicative beta and be like, oh, I'll go with you and I'll protect you, but I'm not. I ain't gonna fucking do that shit, bitch. Like, I'll protect you if you're my property. If you are my property, then I would protect you. Otherwise, I don't give a shit. And I immediately turned her narrative on its ass, and I was like, well, then you need to fucking take care of yourself. And I was like, this is North Carolina. You can fucking open carry a handgun. And she was like, well, I wouldn't really know what kind of, I don't know how to get a handgun or what kind of, and I immediately stopped her. I was like, all right, if you need me to hold your hand in this process, I'd be happy to. I said, we will go down to the gun store, you know what I mean? And I will hold your hand through this process. And she held her hand out and said, no, you won't. And I later on realized she meant like I wouldn't hold her hand, but I immediately stuck my hand out like I thought she was going for a handshake, like, deal, buddy. You know what I mean? And she giggled and withdrew her hand like really quick. And that was when I was like, oh, maybe this bitch wants the D. She's kind of cute. She got that ass. And nothing of fruition ever occurred. Nothing came to fruition because I'm me, and that's how life is. Yeah. Yeah, really, like, all of my meal preps are just stir-fry and rice. That's all I fucking do. I'm an Asian guy. Oh, well, it's not that big a deal. Be happy with what you can get. Yeah. Now I'm getting all stuffed. Sir Blumpkin says, I guess I'm the one of the colored being half black and half Asian. You're Blasian? Stephen Knight says, black beans have the highest protein and fiber out of all beans, I believe. Word. I like black beans and pinto beans. I got nothing against red beans. Or kidney beans, I guess? But I don't usually pay attention to them. But either way, beans are like the best thing. They're like the best fucking vegetable to make. I mean, essentially all cereals are just carbs, which is great if you're, I don't know, in need of carbs. Actually, that's not true. Oatmeal. So oats are damn good. But other than that, I try to avoid like corn, for example. It's high in energy, but it's carbohydrates. No protein. A lot of fiber, but why not have all three? And beans are actually 20% carb. Oh, yeah. Let me check. Oh, bro. Now I feel like I need a nap. Today has been a lazy rest day, but I needed it. I got 3 interviews coming up before the end of the week. Yeah, but it's going to be sunny all this fucking week. You were aching to run this entire fucking time. Well, I can still go to the park by... yeah, this shit is not going to settle in your gut by 5 o'clock. Fuck it. I mean, some days you just got to say fuck it, right? I'm drinking this coffee, and I feel like, who's that dude that reviews MREs? Nice. Let's get this out on a tray. Nice. Instant coffee. Nice. Like, that guy's great. I love his work. While I says, can the America people, who those America people, actually rise up against the machine that is the American government and military? Is it even possible? Even if unity was achieved, I feel like they'd just blast you out of existence. Oh, son, we outnumber them 10-1. For all police and military, we outnumber them 10-1. Also, do you know much about American history? Once upon a time, there were these psychos who overthrew the most powerful government on Earth. Anyway, Clive Winston says, damn, he meal preps without hot sauce? Oh, I could do hot sauce. That's right. You ever watch them, the Hot Ones? That Hot Ones challenge? That looks so heinous. Stephen Knight says, oh my god, Filipino women drools. Indeed, man. I mean, look, I like wide hip, big booty women, but at the same time, I also like petite women that you can like. It's like I'm either driving a pickup truck or I'm like driving a crotch rocket. You know what I mean? It's like one. I don't do anything in between. You know what I mean? Like you either gotta have the bootay or you have to be very tiny and effeminate, and I can like throw you around, do acrobatics and shit. You know? I don't know where we're going with this. I Need Gain says, I hope that some or a lot of military would not bomb their families and would join against the government and their COs. Yeah, that's part of the narrative that I think Boog Boys rock, but I mean, like, look at what's going on. Like, you know, they're totally being... I mean, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, they're totally doing savage things to their own citizens right now. of their own cities. So, unfortunately, that might not be a real narrative. That might be something that we just like to tell ourselves. I mean, hoping... You know, and there's a difference, I think, between the military and the police, though, in mentality. Churchill Bhatia says, dude, at the risk of stereotyping my friends, what is it with Caucasians having a general hard-on for Asian women? I do not, by the way. I generally do not. Filipinos are actually half European, kind of, because of, you know, the Spanish coming in, and I like Spanish influence. Like, I like Latinas, for example. So, that kind of general, you know, half Spanish, half whatever the fuck. And again, it's not all Asians. Like, I'm not super big on Japanese women. I don't want to be, like, judgmental and mean, but the features of Japanese women are, I'm not big on them. Koreans, Vietnam, it depends what, they've got some, but on average, I do not care as much about them. Obviously, like, the race that I'm most attracted to is white. Flock of a feather theory. Just look that shit up. Like, I tend to prefer white women. But some Latinas not bad at all, and some Filipinas not bad either. You know what? Actually, it really just depends on the individual. But the reason that I say they're women is because they're more traditional, because they're like conservative Catholics over there. That's also probably why I kind of like Latinas a little bit, because they're, like, unless they've been in this country and have been, like, deformed by the feminism, they're generally a little more effeminate. You know what I mean? Like, that's why they're gonna fucking replace us, because, we have that whole social we got something going on that makes us not breed. But the Mexicans don't seem to have a problem with that. So, here's to you guys. Viva la Mexico. Oh. I actually had a buddy who was trying to get me to go down to Mexico with him. He was one of my YouTube fans, and he's like, it's actually kind of based down here. He's like, you can't really own guns, but, like, everything is about, like, this machismo cowboy culture. They don't have that feminism shit here. And he's like, everybody carries a knife in the streets. And I'm like, that does sound okay. But, still. And then, in response, I Need Gain says they sexy as fuck. Stephen Knight says, Tower of Babel in, whoa, everything jumped. Shot. Stephen Knight says, Tower of Babel in the Bible explains why we're diversified. Yeah, that might be an origin myth for, like, the breaking off of, like, multiple cultures around the Sinai area. Sarah says, couldn't even stop the police brutality during the police brutality protest, right? It's like, hey, man, could you guys stop doing that? Okay! Stephen Knight, he says, is couscous kind of like grits? It is, actually. It's a less tastier grit. Actually, what's the protein content of grits? Fuck it. I gotta see this. What is a grit? These two utes. Oh, my tummy's all full of meal prep. Oh, no. Grits are only 3.4 grams. That's about half. Half of what couscous has. Oh, no. Freak Pit Freak says, I personally prefer white rice over couscous. More useful in most foods I eat. Yeah, but it has, like, no protein content. What? And also, you can't get it at stores right now. There was a run on rice for some reason. I have a 10-pound bag, but I'm keeping that in case shit goes bad. How Firewolf says, ooh, busy stream today. It is. It is a busy stream. I don't even know why. Maybe because it's like I'm using trending words that are trending, I guess. Green Kid says, if black people ever took a Second Amendment stance and started buying guns en masse, that's the day that both Democrats and Republicans all of a sudden became bipartisan on gun ban, and it would happen. Possibly, but then that would literally show you that there's a massive disconnect in between, what the actual voters want and what the overlords do. Because I don't fucking personally care. Like, where I'm at, I've seen black people open carry. It has never been a problem. I'm out of coffee. Fuck. You probably don't need any more coffee, bud. What? Oh, Jesus. Sarah says, at Green, they're arranging that, according to the Twitter community, Juneteenth. June what? What are they doing now? I'll kill all of you. Church Batia says, I think chickpeas are awesome, too. Even besides hummus, I'd eat those guys out of a tin with a healthy dose of pepper and lemon. Not as big on peas. I don't like eating peas, Mom. I Need Gain says, Steven 1989, MRE info. That's fucking him. That's who. Yep, that's him. Nice. Let's get this out on the tray. Nice. He's just so upbeat about MREs. Dude is great. 8-Man says, MRE guy. Nice hiss. Nice. Stephen Knight says, the MRE guy is dope, lol, especially when he gets super old one and is thinking about tasting it. I can't remember what the oldest one that he ever ate was. I know he's done one from World War II. I've seen him undo a tin of K-rations from World War I. And I don't think he fucked with that, and I wouldn't fuck with that either. I wouldn't fuck with the World War II ones, man. I've had a share of MREs. I've never been super impressed, but I did laugh my ass off when I saw Balance on a Rock or something. Wildeye says, understand that you outnumber them and they could tail their family out and kill the rest.
again, I don't think you get how this is going to work. Name one occupation that has worked. Didn't work in Vietnam. We're still fighting the same guys in sandals and AKs in the Middle East. It's almost like that shit wouldn't fucking work. The cartels are still existing despite the Mexican police trying to get rid of that shit. All occupations are going to fail, buddy. Sharky McShark says, what's your current stance on organized religion? You seem to have a hard-on for Catholicism as of recent, but I remember you being an atheist back in the day. I don't have a hard-on for Catholicism. I just think that socially it's better than atheism. I don't care whether the religion is right or wrong, and guess what? Neither does evolution. It's just that it favors traditionalism. There's actually a poli-sci theory that states that, like, throughout the generations, there's this liberal narrative that, like, evil, stupid, conservative, patriarchal men have kept us from, but now is our time to shine. No, man, liberals have shown up in history. It's just every time they do, they support policies that are essentially self-castrating. There's a thing called the Roe effect. If you support abortion, your children are more than likely to support abortion, and this creates a situation where they are more than likely not to pass on their own genes. So maybe it's just that conservatism and religion, they preclude one to reproduction. They select in. So I'm just saying, like, he was asking, why do you like Latinas or fucking Filipinos? Because they're Catholics, so they have, like, big fucking families. And, like, that's how you win the game. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, people always say, do you want kids? And it's like, of course I do. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to have them, and it would require that I be shacked up with. They don't have these anymore, but there used to be these things that were like the opposite of men, and they were not masculine. Then again, these things now aren't. They were basically not shrieking Skeksis, so it's like before the shrieking Skeksis. And I feel like Catholicism, more like Islam, is like a place to look for that shit. That doesn't mean that I support the religion. How do I feel about mainstream or religion? I guess it's okay as an entrenched interest. I guess there's nothing you can do about it. If you try to fight it, then you are essentially not on the winning side of evolution. That's like saying, how do you feel about, it's like, the thing that I really fucking want would be for us to, like, retreat to some sort of tribalist society and do something that's called anarcho-primitivism. But, like, let's face it, like, you're gonna get your shit kicked by a bigger society, better well-equipped society that has laser guns. So, unfortunately, I have to admit that there's kind of no way for me to have my secret dream of anarcho-primitivism, you know what I mean? So, unless Firefly happens, please let Firefly happen, where we can do, like, techno-primitivism or anarcho-syndicalism, essentially. But, yeah, so it doesn't matter how I feel about it. Is it kicking ass? Well, I don't know. Ask yourself, who's winning the numbers game right now? The Muslims, the Mexicans, or Europeans? You have your answer. And then he says, coming from somebody from Ireland, you don't want Catholicism. I think anything is better than this new church of globalism that they're trying to force fuck down our throats. Hey, but by the way, hang on. Oh, it's in my back. Is it in my backpack? Yeah, it's in my backpack. I'm not getting that shit. But this dude that I'm reading about, who is my fucking hero, and I highly recommend reading Blood and Thunder and any other accounts of Kit Carson. Legendary fucking badass mountain man. One of, like, the greatest American heroes. He was a really stand-up guy. He almost never did anything that seemed unsightly or wrong. He was very against he was generally a very reserved guy. He didn't brag about himself a lot, but his first wife was Arapaho, and then she died in childbirth. Her name was Singing Grass. And then his second wife was also Arapaho, but she was a feminist, so it didn't turn out, as you might imagine. So, I don't know. It's fucking too bitchy, I guess. And gotta kick that shit to the curb. She actually evicted him from her TP. She threw his shit out into the street. Dead serious. Threw all of his, like, hunting gear and shit out into the street, and it was like, yeah, well, you ain't man enough for this shit. But anyway, then he found a nice conservative Catholic girl, and he converted to Catholicism and had, like, 10 kids with her, and her name was Josefa. Ironically, though, he participated in both wars against natives and Mexico. Because he kind of got drafted into it by weird circumstance. You got to read his shit. He kind of didn't want to do that. He wanted to continue to be a mountain man, but, like, then he started, like, leading exploratory expeditions that somehow the scientific teams of which got drafted into different military branches to fight in the Mexican War in California. Fucking crazy, but either way, like, his wife Josefa was not fucking impressed by that. Like, everyone in the country was enamored with this guy. He was a fucking rock star, and she was just like, I don't give a fuck. She's like, I don't care about that shit. But I mean, like, fucking, they had, like, 9 kids together, so, I mean, it was successful. Name anyone today who's having 9 fucking kids. If you do name them, they're probably either Muslim, Catholic, some kind of Southern American. That's it. Like fucking white Anglo-Saxon Protestants ain't doing too good at this numbers game. You know what I mean? Evolution gonna do what it's gonna do. While I says, when the Gulag is mentioned, generals and admirals normally fulfill their duties. Yeah, fair enough. But no, not fair enough. You can either go to the Gulag or you can swing. Sorry, who was talking about what? Who said what? Oh, fucking anyway. Sarah says the question is: since you're knowledgeable on religion, do you think these are the end times? I don't know. I'll quote Cormac McCarthy when he said, I think that every generation thinks that it's the end of days, and that is just, what did he say? That was vanity. It's vanity. Thoth says, feminism is a plague that will destroy Western society completely. What? No, of course not. Of course not. No, it's not that, it's literally been shown historically to destroy all things. I mean, so at one point the Romans were like the dominant force on planet Earth, and then they had a form of feminism, and then they had some sort of weird societal collapse, and then there was the Islamic Golden Age around 600, 700 AD, and then they had some form of feminism, and then they collapsed, and then America was, shit. I'm in so much trouble. YouTube's got the, I don't have like a ruler or something, they're just smacking the ruler, they're getting ready to smack my pee-pee. They know that I'm bad. I'm sorry. Willem Dafoe's Fruitcake says, fucking magnets, how do they work? Fucking magnets, how do they work? Princess Ruby. Well, excuse me, Princess, says, you hanging in there in these times? No, I'm losing my goddamn mind. Sarah says, 120 calories, 3 grams of protein, Quaker grits. Then she says, 70 grams, eat that shit every day. Bruh. For if you're gonna do grains, that weird I forget the name of it, that oatmeal brand that has a bear on the box, Kodiak Cakes, has 6 grams of protein for about 190 calories in their oatmeal. So yeah, I got that, but I got tired of eating nothing but oatmeal. I have also saved up a shit ton of boxes of oatmeal for the end times, if in fact we suddenly don't have any more food to eat. Sharky McShark says, at Sarah, far from the end times, humanity has been through much worse than this. Yeah, I can sort of see that. But, goddamn. The problem is that there tends to be, there's waves of good times and bad times. Like, after World War II, there was, a fun, there was a fun, have a bunch of kids and an era of prosperity. And I feel like we've just been waiting for it. It's been 30 years since I was born, and nothing has ever gotten better. It only ever fucking gets worse. And it's frustrating, and that's what makes us feel that way. Sarah says, June 19th, the black community is really pushing each other to get that strap. Go for it. Fucking, I'll go to my local gun store and educate people about the benefit of revolvers. I'll be that guy. I Need Gain says, he ate Civil War hardtack. You talking about Kit Carson or me? Because both are true. 8Man says, the PS5 launch going to be later due to the America riots. Who cares? Does anyone want a PS5? Again, we go back to they're punking me. Man, PS4 ain't been around long enough. You don't have enough fucking games in that catalog to justify a PS5. Get the fuck out of here. Green Kid said, if you were president, what would be your first executive order? I would probably do some sort of, how should I put this? I would probably do some sort of restructuring of our global political thing where I withdrew from a lot of areas, say the Middle East, and stopped either invading or funding the countries there. And then the next thing I would do is I would make the Secretary of Energy, I don't even think that's a fucking thing, but I would give that to Elon Musk, and I would make him the counselor. He'd be the High Chancellor of Technology, and we would just focus 100% on fixing America's infrastructure. I would actually repurpose all soldiers to just be fucking, infrastructure builders, fixing lines, fixing our electricity grid, fixing our highways and shit like that. And every time one of those Middle Eastern countries called up and said that they needed $80 trillion, I'd be like, get fucked. I'd say, get fucked up, get fucked up, get fucked up, get fucked up. Anyway, Willem Dafoe's Fruitcake says, there's a compilation of Mr. MRE info saying, nice. Okay, this I actually have to see. Oh, my leg. My leg!
God, touchscreens are fucking the worst goddamn shit ever. We fucking go.
That's not looking too bad. But if we get that out into a tray, it'd be looking pretty nice. 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 Nice.
I could listen to this
Nice.
all day. Nice.
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 Nice. Oh, nice. Nice.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. I love Mr. MRE info. Yeah. I'm fucking talking about this. Freak Pick Freaks says, fair on the rice thing, but what's your opinion on tofu or vegan meats for protein? They've got phytoestrogens. Those'll give you man tits. Yeah. While I says, the Philippines president has done mass killings recently and killed a drug dealer. The drug addicts in mass, so yeah, it can work, I think, lol. Yeah, he's a bit of a fascist. That part I don't really like, his anti-drug policy, but he basically says that he'll give people guns. So he's kind of based, a little bit like Putin. Churchill Bhatia says, dude, 100%. I actually don't get how the abortion and feminism can exist in the same system. Well, it's because Moloch demands baby sacrifices. Consider that. Green Kid says, as a libertarian, how do you feel about anarcho-capitalism? Unfortunately, anarcho-capitalism always devolves into despotism. I actually think that our founding fathers envisioned a system where there would be frequent purges even of the private sector, not just necessarily the government. Everyone should be free to brew beer. Everyone should be free to sell their beer. One dude's beer becomes the most popular. That dude will fucking inevitably attempt to summon a private army to shut down all other beer production, at which case you must shoot his family and burn his house down as a message to future despots that you are free to make as much money as you want. You are not free to void other people's, you're not free to void the non-aggression principle, which they always goddamn do. They always fucking do it. Like, as a libertarian, I want that everyone should be able to, like, smoke crack or shoot heroin because, like, it's your body and you're free to put chemicals in it, but, like, they always fucking end up trying to steal the siding off of your house, or your TV to afford more crack, and it's like, well, now you violated the non-aggression principle. So, it's a bit of a touchy subject. I Need Gain says, I can't speak for Tolstoy, but I would reinstate the statute that everyone age 18 must own a firearm and know how to use it, the Militia Act of 1792. Nah, there you fucking go. That's a good idea. You can be in the cabinet. Stephen Knight says, in other news, I finished all 7 seasons of, damn, you worked fast, 7 seasons of Parks and Rec, and it's just so wholesome for lack of a better word, lol. Tom is my favorite character next to Andy. Fucking Tom, man. What does he say? I call eggs future chickens. Yeah, Tom was fucking great. You gotta watch all of the, then he says, no, scratch that. I'm Team Ron Swanson. Yeah, Swanson was an amazing character. It was so precious the way that they ended it with him. I actually think that, Ron Dunn, though, his Eagleton counterpart, who's played by Sam Elliott, like, that's my level of libertarian, like, with like a little bit of crazy hippie environmentalism in there. Yeah, I loved every single fucking character. Fuck. And now, I don't know if you've watched, even if you're done with that, but if you want to watch something new that has that wholesome feel to it, it's not, I don't know if it's as funny, but I still really like it, Community. It was actually Dan Harmon's show before he started doing Rick and Morty, and it's a lot less edgy and more kind of down to earth. Thoth says, preach it, say what must be said, petition to resurrect Theodore Roosevelt. Theodore, the motherfucking man, Roosevelt. The familial house of Wu-Tang, the one with which we shall not fornicate. Churchill Bhatia says, haha, good luck defunding Israel. Even Saudi you can say goodbye to, but the Zionists going to assassinate you. Yeah, I know. Silly Zionists. Willem Dafoe's Fruitcake says, at thought, yes. And then While I says, bankers need to die. I agree, bankers do need to die. Willem Dafoe's Fruitcake says, although, as someone living in England, that doesn't affect me. Well, move to America, so it will affect you. Now is not probably the best time. Warning, now is not a good time to move to America. Thoth says, well, America getting sorted out would impact the rest of the world since America sticks its nose into everyone else's business. Yeah, and it's at the behest of the globalists who stand to make a shit ton of money from, like, arms contracts and shit, and it's like, yeah, well, here's the issue. That's a violation of the non-aggression principle because you're taxing me. So the kleptocracy is overwhelmingly going to fund the 1%. Which is like, as Jared Diamond says, so what is your option? You can either use religion, that's not going to work, you can make public projects, that's not what they're doing, or you can disarm the population so that they, can't fight back against the kleptocracy. Why do I get a feeling that this is the one they're going to do? I Need Gain says, anti-Zionism is the chat going to get our boy Tolstoy here a no-knock rated. I'm familiar with the concept, whatever. If they're going to kill me, they're going to fucking kill me. I do not give a fuck anymore. But I totally support Israel, man. I didn't say we were going to defund Israel. I said Middle Eastern countries. Now, if anyone knows Israel is actually the center command for Europe. God damn it, Haven. How did I know you were still here? I was like, she's surely not watching. Surely not. God damn it. You know how I feel about this issue. No. God. Y'all had to do it. Because you know that I'm not allowed to say what I want to say. So Israel is actually part of the European Central Command in accordance with NATO. So I wasn't talking about them. But let's say that there was a country that was costing us $60 billion every fucking year. They should be cut off and left to die. But not them. And then Haven says, I'm always watching. Apparently, that's good to know that your people are always watching from the shadows. Jesus, and then it is, we're always watching. Fuck. What am I poking? Oh, that's right, I moved that shit underneath my desk. Oh. Hey, Voss is here. He says, what did I miss? Voss, you missed fucking everything. You're going to have to back and rewatch this because we got really red-pilled and we got really based. But just don't tell anyone that I said that. I meant that we got really soy-pilled and we got really gay. I don't think that works. I don't think that was clever. Uh-oh. I got peppers. I got onions in my teeth. Ugh, do I really feel like meal prepping, though? Every time I meal prep, I want to have a couple beers. You know what I mean? Just have a couple beers while you're cooking, you know? Feel like a dad grilling or some shit like that. But then you're going to have like 19 beers and you're going to get fucking drunk because it's how you always do. Yeah, don't fucking do that. Fuck. I guess you could work out. Oh, bro, you can work out at 8 o'clock. You still fucking do that? I hate doing home workouts. They're such aids. Willem Dafoe says, fucking shadow people, let us sleep. When it's been 3 days of no sleep and the shadow people are trying you. Thankfully, I've been getting better sleep, but I've been bonging up on Kratom. Like, I've just been like, a trowel? That's enough Kratom. Voss says, don't we always, boss? Yeah. No, not always. Sometimes we keep it on the DL. Sometimes. Let me text that bitch back. Dear bitch, your ass should be a monument. Let me use the voice feature. Let me see if that fucking works. I can't do that? Oh, here we go. Already in phase 2. I don't know when they're going to reopen the gyms. Sad face. It actually made the sad face! Bitch, we both know you do not have any interest in fitness. You have an interest in drinking and shaking your ass around boys because you want attention. It's a sweet ass, to be fucking honest. Like, one of the best asses I've ever seen. I hate that bitch. Greenkin says, does America have to have some form of socialism to work in the long run? What's the alternative realistically? Putting us back on the gold standard. No, we do not need that shit. We need to go back on the goddamn gold standard. And all of these sneaky spiders who constantly want to influence our public policy to be bent towards them getting subsidies, cut the fuck off. Let's cut the welfare whores off. No more infinite dollars for Lockheed Martin to make 900 more fucking missiles. That would save America single-handedly. Thoth says, I'm a homosexual now because of those soy pills you dropped. I've discovered the joy of man-on-man action. Well, shit, man. You gotta send me a manual on how that works, because this shit with bitches ain't working out for me, bro. Sir Blumpkin says, yes, I genuinely cringed, my dude. Wait, what did you cringe about, though? Clive Winston says, I used to religiously go to a gym at 11 p.m., really, then immediately got home and sleep. Very cash money. I can't go to sleep after a workout, bro. It's gotta be like early enough in the day or the afternoon so you have the whole day left. Otherwise, I'm too jacked up. But then again, I also do like creatine sometimes after my workouts, and that tends to kind of bump me a little bit. Voss says the alternative is Big Igloo. Bro, you gotta stop using that. We gotta find a new stat because, like, the ATF is publishing shit saying that if you use that term that you're an evil white supremacist and shit like that, don't fucking do it. They've caught on. We need to calm down our shirt. Churchill Batia says, by the way, phytoestrogen is actually an estrogen blocker. You're more likely to get tits from added hormones in milk. No, I don't think that's true, buddy. Phytoestrogens can go either way. Phytoestrogens can either be endocrine disruptors, which have the tendency to block testosterone, or they can be estrogen mimickers. But let's put it this way: there's a lot more chemicals in our environment that cause you to have the man tits than actually act as some form of like positive, resource for your testosterone production. This is being done on purpose. And I like how there's basically just mouth breathers who are just like, it's not a big deal, because they're so insecure in their masculinity that they don't want to seem like they're insecure in their masculinity, so they don't take any action to make sure that they're fucking healthy. It's like people who, want to act like, smoking is cool and manly, so they smoke, and they go, well, you're just not manly enough to smoke, and then when they have to run a mile, they die. So it's more important to be worried about it and to seem like... That shit actually broke me with bitch from work. So... One of the smartest ladies that I've ever known, I mentioned that to her, the estrogen in the water supply, and I blamed birth control pills, and she's like, that's actually only a small sliver of the problem. The problem is actually the estrogen blockers inside of the glyphosate, which is being used on our crops and shit like that. So she was best environmental fascist waifu. You know what I mean? This dumb bitch, I mentioned this to her, and she starts laughing, and I'm like, yeah, you are dumb. Like, it turned me off. She's got a lot of stuff that kind of gets me there, but she also has like a lot of like childish, feminine, like, oh, tee-hee, it's okay if like the next generation of men get born with like birth defects because I only have to find, the 1% of men who are just so alpha. And yeah, I'm sure polygamy has worked everywhere it's been tried. Wait a second. It's never worked anywhere. Uh-oh, and then we go right back to, this is why Catholicism, Islam are going to rule the world. White Europeanism is on its way out. Like, all these fucking people who are like, well, we're in a poly relationship. That's great. Just say, hey, just saying. I Need Gain says that thought, like, Greek gay or gay? There's actually a difference, and I feel bad, because Greek gay is kind of based. I would be Greek gay if I could, man. Be a fucking warrior, fuck your best friend, tell bitches to get fucked, fucking kill a cyclops. That shit's cash. Clive Winston says, well, the answer is smoke the wacky tobacco beforehand. Damn, you smoke weed before you go to the gym, bud? Velodrone says, R.I.P., my dude, Floyd. Wait, Pink Floyd is dead? No, I'm fucking kidding. That's terrible. Haven Amira says, Nino is watching and he keeps pointing at you and saying, was that? It speaks now? No way. Does it actually speak? And it says, was that? Well, let's tell him I'm evil fascist or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Voss says, they said that about the booger word, not about the giant igloo. No, in the article it also mentions big igloo. I think the shit is up. We just need to find a new fucking term. Even if we call it, the pumpkin pie. Doesn't fucking matter, but... Sir Blumpkin says, why don't you just ask her out? We've had this conversation on stream before. I've gone out with her a couple of times. She has a boyfriend. The relationship was strained and at a distance and not doing well. And I wasn't going to push anything... But I was just trying to see if I could be there at an opportunistic time when Rome collapsed, like a Visigoth or some shit like that. Actually, that's a poor analogy because the Visigoths made Rome collapse. Anyway, and she did some childish shit where she basically made me admit that I was interested by, like, just asking straight out, which I thought was some really childish-ass shit to do. And I actually, like, looked at her like... And after that, I was like, well, look, man, if it's on the table, then I guess the offer's there. And I went back to eating my burger. And then she didn't say shit. And I got pissed, and I was like, I thought you were really flirting with me. And she's like, well, I do that with everyone. And so I literally just said, oh, so you are a whore. And then after that, we've just kept some weird quasi-friendship relationship where I don't talk to her, but every so often she drops in on me to talk to me. And it's like, yeah, well, why are you talking to me? I told you before, I physically told her, I'm like, I'm not going to be your friend. And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah, I don't do friend zone shit. She's like, well, there's no such thing as that. I was like, bitch. I was like, fucking, yes, there is, because male friends are worth more than fucking female friends. And I was like, you ain't gonna back me up in a fight, and you're not gonna let me crash on your couch, you're not gonna lend me no money, but I got people who would do that. And I was like, so what's it gonna be? And she's like, well, So, but she keeps on fucking trying. Like, I don't understand. Like, fuck. I don't fucking know. I just don't know. Sorry, that whole situation gets me. Hormones in milk is scary, but refuse to switch to almond milk. I've actually heard almond milk's not bad. I've heard it does not give you the man tits. Not soy milk, almond milk. Churchill Batia says, no, I agree with you about the feminization of men and falling testosterone levels. There's misconceptions about soy, though. I know that it's not as bad as people say that it is, but either way, can't take that risk. It's like saying filtered cigarettes are safer. I don't want lung cancer. Sir Blumpkin says, would you pay for the first date? No. Nope. and I haven't. Clive Winston says, yes, I recommend it. I don't know, man. The confusion plant? Before, I would probably, forget my sets. Haven says, yeah, he's saying a few words. Holy shit. Well, look at that. Little guy's going to be talking sooner rather than later. Churchill Batia says that Clive Winston, oat milk is immensely superior to almond milk. Can't recommend it enough. Ooh, that actually sounds dope. I would get some oat milk. Velodrone says, did you see the video of the upstanding citizen caught beneath the FedEx truck during the protest? R.I.P., my dude. Yeah, we already had that discussion earlier. Somebody tried to stack up for him, and I'm like, look, I don't like the police brutality, but if you try to pull a man out of a fucking truck and he has obvious memories of the L.A. riots where they did that and they killed a human being, you pretty much have threatened his life. It's okay that you died. Is what it is. Cyber Monkey says, she wants a beta orbiter. There you fucking go. And she's trying to, put me in that box. And I'm just like, what are you doing? It's like trying to ride a zebra and the dumb bitch going, horsey. And I'm like, no, bitch, zebra. Cannot be tamed. It's not what you fucking do. Not gonna fucking happen. Next caller. Clive Winston says, almond milk has pretty shit level of protein compared to real milk. Oh, no, it bounced right back to real milk, though. Well, you can just get fucking organic milk. They have organic milk. It costs more. But that's okay. I'm willing to spend more money for quality goods. I mean, obviously, because I have a Benchmade. I know, I'm booing his. Sir Blumpkin says, heard avoiding dairy is good. I've heard the opposite. I mean, yeah, the hormones, but maybe you're right. Velodron says, you think he will lose his job? What, the officer? I hope he goes to prison. The FedEx guy. I hope not. But he might. God only fucking knows. I hope he doesn't go to prison. It's scary times. Oh, yeah, that's subtle. Sharky McShark says, opinions on Trump? I have no opinions. I don't literally know. I literally have no opinion on Trump. I know. It's impossible, right? It's impossible to not know. But I unfortunately do not know. All right. Might want to get your guys' last comments in because I'm probably about to sign off and try to find something productive to do with my life. Oh, fuck. Meal prep, huh? Gosh darn it, do I really want to meal prep today? Bro, you don't have any more food. You have to meal prep. It ain't a matter of if you want to do it, B. That means I gotta do dishes. I don't want to do dishes. Mom, you took away my Switch. I don't love you anymore. Fuck. Yeah, and there it is. I knew someone was going to say, isn't Benchmade anti-Second Amendment? No, they disposed of some guns because the police asked them to do it because the guns needed to be deactivated. And then, everyone took that as some sort of anti-Second Amendment thing, but they're not like that. You know what I mean? They might be a little bit like that, but I don't give a shit. If it's a good product, it's a good product. I don't have to like what they... I could wear Nikes and not like Colin Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. If it's a good product, it's a good product. Within reason. Once you go to, Last of Us fucking levels, where it's just that fucking offensive. You know what I mean? You might not think that what Colin Kaepernick did was professional, but it's not like it was super obtuse. So I would still buy Nikes. I don't give a shit. It's fucking okay. Nike's back. Colin Kaepernick, he says he's anti-police brutality. Honestly, in retrospect, he looks like he kind of has a point. Didn't go about it in a bad way. And Naughty Dog would be the equivalent of Colin Kaepernick going yeah, man, fuck all white people. You all deserve to die. You know what I mean? The Last of Us 2. You're AIDS. Churchill Batia says, throw some crushed pistachio on your almond oat milk. 20% protein on them bad boys. I'll think about it. Sharky McShark says, film is an overrated artistic medium. I agree. Velodrum says, his name will leak and companies will bow to public pressure these days. Bound to happen. That sucks. That really sucks. This motherfucker's name is Fattest Cactus. That's wonderful. Fattest Cactus says, went to sleep for a week in Thailand. Found out today America's on fire. What the fuck did I miss? Oh, son. Everything. I wouldn't come back. Just stay in Thailand. It's actually not that bad there. I Need Gain says, man's got the neck beard going. I just don't feel like shaving every day. You think it's sexy anyway. Sir Blumpkin says, not really. He just has a low mustache ratio. God damn, you all are so mean to me. It's like, nah, he's just fat and ugly. Probably a faggot. Probably doesn't have a dick either. Thanks. Thank you guys. I'm glad that I tune in for your love and support. I don't have fucking mental issues. Well, the first fruitcake says, ever had a venison burger? No, but I've had venison before. I would like to actually ethically source my own meat, but I need to learn a lot more about marksmanship and hunting before I can do that. It's a lifelong goal. I'd like to also get into fishing more, but the buy-in is kind of high. I have not had positive experiences trying to fish. All right, lads. I'm going to shut it down for now. It's been nice talking to you. This has been a productive one. This is actually one that I don't really feel like deleting, despite the fact that I probably fucking should.